they're doing a folding phone too. And they're saying it's already better than the Samsung one. Kind of crazy.
I'm
That's
surprised
why they
because it's just
that's
yeah.
why they don't want them over here, Sam. The Hawaii people.
Yeah.
That's why they don't want them over here. I gotta make sure I get.
It's just constant competition, man, trying to one up each other.
There you go. There you go.
DVD.
Was you blocked by somebody in the chat? Because I sent you an invite.
No, I didn't see it. I was just watching view because like when I watch something, it doesn't give me notifications.
Oh, I got you. Okay. We're still
Oh,
waiting for
chat.
Lincoln and everybody else. I guess we're giving like 2 minutes, but let me get some of
All right,
these
I'm gonna get
notes.
settled though.
Yeah,
All right.
let me get some notes. No, hold on, it's 2. Okay. Everybody looks like we are live. We'll wait for a couple more people to get in here. A lot of stuff to talk about today. Some news just dropped. Hey, what's going on, Gentleman Gamer? What's going on, Zap? Small Pyro, what's going on? A lot of news today. A lot of news. A lot of exciting news. Oh my God, it's a great time to be a gamer. It is a horrible time to be an Xbox fanboy, and I'm not targeting them because I don't like them. It's just so much bad stuff is coming out. Let's see. Need that other review for Game Pass. No switch. Okay, good there. Good there. What's going on, Lincoln?
Hey, what's going on?
Just giving some people a little bit more time and getting the rest of these notes because I'm gonna share my screen a little bit more than I wanted to. Sam's gonna tell me how to do that shit permanently, but right before we even was getting ready.
Oh, I wanted to tell you that when you highlight, when you go to share your screen, you know how we're in the Google Hangouts. All you have to do is just highlight, go to your own name, highlight your name, and click on it. And so whatever it is you're sharing, it'll stay on that. Because sometimes when you share the screen and people start talking, then their picture keeps jumping in.
Okay, man.
Yeah,
so
but by
I'm new to all this crap.
So by highlighting your own name, you highlight your own name and you click on your own name, and so whenever you screen something, it'll stay on that.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, man. Thanks for telling me about that.
I wanted to tell you that, but I didn't want to feel like I was being intrusive, telling somebody how to run their own channel and shit.
No, you're not, man. You're helping me out because Google is really complicated for no reason.
Jamar Bates, what is up, man? How you doing today?
We got so many people, so much news to talk about today. What's going on, Jamar? Anybody I missed?
Jay, you work nights, right?
Yeah.
Are you usually up? Are you usually up in the morning?
Yeah. I guess 9. Yeah, about 9 or 10. I'm up.
Okay. If you don't mind, one of these weeks I'd like for you to join me on my podcast in the morning. I do a podcast called Live from Wakanda.
Okay. What time?
It's usually Sunday morning, about 7 o'clock.
Damn, that's early.
Yeah, no.
Okay. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna be available. I'm gonna be available for one of those Sundays. So I guess the Sunday coming up, I get to sleep a little earlier and be up.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be next Sunday. Just just a heads up, whichever works for you. Simply Deep, what is up?
Why did Nightbot just time him out?
I don't know. Why did Night?
Oh, because he was typing in caps. I just noticed it.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't set Nightbot to do that. Why do you do that?
I guess it's automatic because it just reads it as hostile when you're like just typing in caps.
Oh, his first one wasn't in caps.
It's just a 5-second timeout, so you guys want to be careful with the caps. That way, Nightball won't just keep timing you out.
Okay. I guess we could get started here. I sent what is it, Sick Humor invite. You already know I sent Adam an invite. I sent him like 50 more just to piss him off real quick. But we're gonna get started because we got a lot of news to cover. A lot of fucking news. We're gonna jump into this. Let me get Adam in here real quick. Adam.
Okay, while we're waiting for this person to come in, I am going to run to the fridge real quick and grab a ice cold glass of ginger ale and mango juice.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yes, sir.
I will be right back.
Okay, I got my water, so I won't lose my voice at all today. I almost lost my. I was losing my voice for Sick Humor's podcast. We were in there for a while, man, like 2 hours, I think.
That's why you gotta have a beverage handy.
Yeah, I got these small bottles of water. Drink those, man. Okay, guys, we have super chat on the channel. That money goes to funding different equipment that we're gonna I'm gonna be using, like capture cards, to do different types of videos. Using super chat money to fund new technology so we can do some different types of videos on this YouTube channel that I used to do. But we're getting a high-end capture card. The Verger something Aver Meteor. Yeah, that's the one Jack Move told me. That is
going to be 4K one?
Yeah, it's going to be captured in 4K HDR. That's what I want to aim for. I have a 1080p 60 frames per second one, and then I have the normal one that is just 1080p 30 frames. Sometimes it does 720p 60, so I'm aiming for that. We have super chat. Sam is going to be reading off super chat. I'm also here looking at the super chat as well. The Cash App is also on my YouTube channel. It's the money sign and then JayTechTV. But that's a lot of stuff that we still have to do on this YouTube channel. I would appreciate if anybody supports with generosity. Would be greatly appreciated. So I'm going to start out with the intros. As you guys already know, JayTechTV, Flame of PlayStation. Been playing a good amount of games. Kingdom Hearts, Override, Earth Defense Force, and I also been playing the Order 1886 because this was the anniversary and the game is amazing. Sam, you can go next.
Hey guys, welcome to 20 Gaming. Here to just keep it gaming, guys.
Okay.
All right, folks, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Legendary Blue Gamer. We got to go through a little bit of verification because we had some people come in here and take over one day. So we're going to need to verify you, okay? So what we're going to have to do is add you on a PSN, and we're going to have to sit you down in a party chat. Me and Sam and Somatic will talk to you, okay?
Good time.
So I'm not ignoring you. I got your invites, but we have to verify anybody we send invites to because of an incident that happened when somebody hijacked our podcast and messed it up. So I'm not dealing with that. So
that erotic incident?
Yeah, I'm not saying that you're a bad guy. We just have to verify you. Okay.
Oh, I don't blame you on that one. We had last summer there was a situation. Have you ever heard of a YouTuber named Jay Wags?
No, I have not.
He's a pretty creative YouTuber. He's pretty funny too. I was in a podcast with him one time, and he sent the link out to the entire party. And somehow somebody got in there, and then whoever got in there, they were streaming. They were streaming of somebody masturbating in there. They were butt naked and masturbating.
Yeah, it seems like the same daggone guy that did that to us. I forgot what his name was, but
you got trolled by Draco, didn't you?
Draco, it probably was him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So me, how I deal with that. Whenever I do a podcast and I know I'm going to have like 2 or 3 people in there. I send the links out individually, rather party wise. That wise, I know I'm sending it to people that I know and trust.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. That's what I'm doing.
I definitely don't blame you for the screening process that you're going to be doing.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's always been like that. We a couple of years ago we had I think it was a minimum of trophy level of 8. Then I changed it to trophy level 10 for anybody getting on the list. And at this point in time, it's just as long as you have a couple platinums, and maybe like PlayStation Plus or some shit like that. If I can go on your profile and see, oh, this dude's gaming, then yeah. Sometimes you don't even need PlayStation Plus, and I'll verify you. And I add you. So I'm adding you right now, Gentleman Gamer. I got you. Because I want to have you in here. Oh, Lincoln, you could do your intro, man. Me and Sam already went.
Oh, sorry about that. All right. Yo, what's good, everybody? It is your boy, Lincoln Clay, the godfather of gaming, the ageless wonder. Hooking up with my man, J-Tech on the PlayStation Legion. I know we got a lot of hot stuff to talk about, so I'm ready to get started. Let's do this.
Okay. Let's go over this one more time. I already have mine selected to me, and then what I'm going to do is share the screen right now. And then it's stuck on me, right? No matter who talks?
It should be.
Okay.
I mean, only you can see it, whether it's
whoever selected. Okay.
Yeah. So
what do you guys see now? What do you see?
We're seeing it. I'm looking at a YouTube page now.
Okay.
Now we seen an outage report, and now some kind of funny looking VR headset.
Okay, good. So you, no matter if I'm talking, you're still seeing it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what we are trying to look for, we're trying to get all of the Verge.com websites here. So we're starting out with brand new news that just dropped today, right before we even I was getting a tag started. I was about to go live, and this shit dropped. This is the brand new Connect. It's going to be $400, powered by the cloud. It's going to be only for the PC so far that we know. It's going to be called the Azure Connect.
Microsoft shrinks Connect into a $400 cloud-powered PC peripheral. Is for developers to build AI algorithms. So it looks like it's going to implement some sort of virtual or augmented reality or something.
Yes, and I definitely believe it's going to be compatible with the brand new Xbox. They might not be saying it today on stage. That's cool. But we already know it will be. I mean, come on.
I guess if they're going to develop it for the PC first and then make it compatible with the Xbox, I guess that would be cool, because I've said this in my earlier podcast. Let's be brutally honest. The next generation of Xboxes aren't going to sell. Microsoft knows it. Everybody knows it. Only the toxic fanboys don't know it, because Microsoft is focused more on the service and the cloud, cloud-based gaming. They're not really focused on the console. So I think what's going to happen next generation with the consoles, I think they're going to make enough consoles for launch, and then after that, it's going to be on an as-needed basis. They're only going to manufacture them as they need them. So for them to make some kind of dedicated peripheral, VR or augmented reality peripheral for the Xbox would be a waste of money. But something like this, a peripheral for the PC, if they make it compatible with the Xbox, then yeah, I think then I guess that would be cool.
Yeah. Look, what you just said, I agree with that 100%. I agree with that. I don't see them not bringing it to the new Xbox. The new Xbox is going to be powerful, and it's definitely going to be compatible with a lot of stuff. The difference between Microsoft and Xbox, Microsoft and Sony is Sony plans ahead. They kind of future-proof their systems. So, example, last generation they had motion controls and 3D gaming. This generation, they had motion controls as well as VR. So Sony has a very sophisticated way to future-proof their gaming consoles to stand the test of time, at least 10 years. And yes, each and every one of their consoles, I can confirm, have lasted 10 years. The technology might be a tad bit outdated, but you can still enjoy the shit out of them, and they're still advanced. With that being said, I think the price is steep as fuck. Like, we're dealing with $400 for the camera, $3,500 for the new HoloLens, and it doesn't even look that much different.
What?
Yes, $3,500 for the HoloLens. Let me go up there and show you.
I thought that algorithm PC peripheral was the experience, and not an accessory
right
to
here,
the experience.
Let me zoom in right here.
What's the market for this?
Oh, hell no. You ain't going to see no shit like that on the Xbox. No.
I know it's not going to be there, but I definitely believe it's going to be compatible. Look at that.
And then here's the thing about it, Jay. You do something like that, you put a device like that on the Xbox, only this so-called Anaconda is going to be strong enough to run this thing, meaning that the rest of the Xbox community will be alienated. This streaming console won't be able to run it. This diskless Xbox won't be able to run it. Hell, I think an Xbox One X will not even be able to run it.
Okay, we're also thinking logically. Normally, when you bring out a new piece of hardware, it's not like so much more expensive than the old one, or the old one drops in price. I did not hear about HoloLens 1 getting a price cut, and it was $3,000. Now they bring out part 2, and it's $3,500. They added an additional $500 onto it. Yes, I know that the technology inside is sophisticated, but come the fuck on. Give certain people a break. No, this is not for the consumer. This is more for like developmental processes and shit like that. But that's high. That's fucking high.
I mean, are we selling this to Mark Cerny? Who are we selling this to?
I would say.
So you're looking at a $4,000 experience, $3,500 for that headset, and $400 for this camera.
Yeah, that's $4,000.
Wow.
And I know people are looking at this channel right now in this live stream. Man, this is JTech's fucking Google Hangout. Man, this dude's biased. I'm sorry, man. Are you really ready to drop $4,000 on Microsoft technology? You could use that to pay off a fucking car, get an apartment, anything. Like
I can drive a car in AR, whatever they're calling it, right?
Shut up, Sam. Cut it out.
I can drive Phil Spencer to the building where they make exclusives properly.
God damn it.
Man.
This is the first bit of news today. Microsoft didn't seem as crazy today as they were when we found out this bit of news that they were going to be putting Game Pass on Nintendo Switch and Android and iOS. That kind of seemed a little bit crazy. Oh, wait up. This was old news. Hold on. Sorry. That was old news. We're trying to see the new news about Game Pass coming to the Switch. And I think we're going to take one over here from Polygon. So this was the new news. You guys can see it, right? I just want to make sure we got everything straight. With,
and then there's no interruptions from anybody else talking.
Right. So that's freaking awesome. So they did seem a little crazy earlier this week, Lincoln, when we saw that this was what was going down. And by the way, guys, we're not even touching the topics. This is one of the topics, but the first stuff we talked about was not a part of the main topics because it just came in right before we started. But I do think that's crazy. But this was kind of crazy, and now we see this shit that's not really pertaining to the current generation console that Microsoft has out on the market, even the strongest version, which is the X. But it's almost $4,000 or for technology that they revealed today. And then they're also trying to get Game Pass on Nintendo Switch. What makes any consumer or a hardcore fanboy of Microsoft or the Xbox brand go out and want to buy any new Xbox console if they're not going to have exclusives? They do matter. I know Microsoft wants to make it seem like exclusives don't matter, but clearly the person they're working with, Nintendo, doesn't even agree with that. But what are your guys' thoughts on this, Sam and Lincoln?
I touched on this earlier today on one of my podcasts. In addition to this rumor about Game Pass going to the Nintendo Switch, I saw a YouTube video from Next Gen 720 that says that Microsoft is working on trying to bring Game Pass to the PS4. Now, if that were to happen, if the Game Pass were to be on both the Nintendo Switch and the PS4, the console that further solidifies my belief that the next generation of Xbox consoles will not sell. Why would you need to buy an Xbox if there's anywhere you can turn? You'll see Game Pass on PC, on the Switch, on the PlayStation. There would be no need whatsoever to buy an Xbox. That solidifies my belief that the next generation of Xboxes will not sell. They'll only manufacture enough to appease the toxic fanboys.
Yeah. Sam, what's your thoughts, man?
It's kind of we're in last place, so keep buying our shit. Like I don't know how else to look at it. Like
I'm
they're
looking at
just
it
trying to
like
make money at this point.
I'm looking at it at this way, and all due respect to one of the gaming legends, Dreamcast. All due respect to the Dreamcast itself, which was an amazing console. But this feels to me like this is Dreamcast almost all over again, with the exception that
Well, worse games.
But with
Right.
worse games, exactly. And you did launch the same exact time as Sony's console. To be honest, there was no excuse. This is what I wanted last gen, Lincoln. I wanted to see if PlayStation 3 and the 360 launched the same week or within the same month. Would there be such a gap as if they launched a year away from each other, which is what actually happened? And from what we're seeing this gen, I think Sony would have won last gen also if they would have launched within the same month.
Oh, no doubt, man. They were outselling them worldwide ever since they launched that first year.
If you even the playing field for the last generation, and you have the PS3 launch at the exact same time that the Xbox 360 launches, and if the PS3 is $400 just like the 360, what kind of generation do we have last time? The domination that we're dealing with right now is what we would have seen last generation.
Mm-hmm. It's wild. It's wild. But back to Dreamcast, it feels like it's Dreamcast where what Sega had to do is, and I don't know how long it took, but they had to hang up Dreamcast. They had to, cancel the production and all that shit. And they went to third party. I don't know what the transition was. I don't know how long it took for them to say, okay, we got to put our games on everybody's platform. That's the only way we're going to survive. But it seems like Microsoft is doing it with a console that they have not canceled. They are not coming out and admitting that the Xbox One was a failure. They're just doing it before our eyes. You know what I'm saying? That's just like example. This is example. This is like, let's say a female wants to get changed, but she doesn't go into the changing room. She just strips before you and changes her clothes in front of the public. It's like there's no secret. You get what I'm saying? There's no secret. They're doing it in front of us. And it's just it's very weird. It's very weird for Microsoft to do this. Not admit that they lost, not take any time off, and just make this transformation in front of us. It's like they want us to be tricked into doing what they want us to do, but it's not going to happen because we know what they're doing. They're trying to stay afloat. That's as simple as it is. I'm not going to accept this shit. However, let me be a hypocrite real quick. If Game Pass comes to the PS4, this is going to be some crazy shit because that would make it that Sunset Overdrive, Halo, Gears, and Forza, other Xbox exclusives or Microsoft exclusives, whatever you want to call it right now, would be available on PlayStation. That means PlayStation would be the most dominant system out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go on.
And I was going to say, and Microsoft would be piggybacking off of that because, as I was saying before in my earlier podcast, I don't know if Sony is going to let Game Pass come to the PS5, but currently, if we had to make a rough guess, we got to make a rough guess that there's about 95, 96 million PlayStations out there that's been sold. And if Microsoft can get Game Pass on the PS4, how many times are they going to have those sales where, you can get Game Pass for $1 for a month, Game Pass for $2 for 2 months or something like that? Out of that 95 million PlayStations that's out there, how many people are going to take a chance and go ahead and buy Game Pass for a month or something like that? 10, 15, maybe 20 million. So Microsoft just made themselves a cool 15, 20 million without selling a fucking console. And it'll happen periodically because they're going to be throwing those Game Pass sales out there periodically. So, for them to jump on the PS4 and get Game Pass on the PS4 would be huge for them.
Yeah, that would be crazy. We are now going to our topics. That was the first topic. Let me spit this bubblegum out.
You might want to do one more intro because we were just joined by Sick Humor.
Sick Humor. What's going on, man? Where you at?
What up? I don't know if y'all can hear me, but I'm gonna be a little in and out because I'm working on rewiring this entire fucking house. So I'm here. and I'm gonna join in as necessary, but I'm gonna be kind of in the background though.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy. First official topic on the list: Microsoft revealing multiple consoles at E3. I don't know if you heard about that this week, Lincoln.
Yeah, I definitely talked about that too, and that also plays into my theory. I've been saying this for like damn near a year now. I said that the race for 2019 is on. That even if Microsoft and Sony still, if it's a possibility that they could work together in the future as far as Game Pass coming to the PlayStation platform, they are still in a foot race to try to release their consoles in front of each other. Thus, I had said that the race for 2019 is on, that Microsoft and Sony are going to be breaking their backs to try to get one up on each other to try to release their consoles first. And I think if Anaconda and Lockhart are revealed at E3, it further plays into my theory that we're going to see some consoles get released in 2019. Also, that plays into my theory.
No, continue on.
That also plays into my theory. If Xbox, Lockhart, and Anaconda are revealed at E3 this year, that also plays into my theory that Gears 5 could be a next gen launch game. I mean, other than Microsoft, when have you known a company to announce a console and it's still a whole year out? Microsoft did that with the Xbox One X, and they only did that to try to rain on the parade of the PlayStation Pro. Other than that, whenever they announced the console, it probably came within 6 months after the announcement. With that being said, it is a strong possibility that we could see a console from Microsoft and Sony in November of 2019. And to also add to that, if you look at the history, the PlayStation 3 was launched in November of 2006. The PlayStation Pro was launched in November of 2016. The PlayStation 4 was launched in November of 2013. The common denominator here is the month of November. So I believe that if the PlayStation 4 as well as the next generation Xboxes come out, it will happen in the month of November. It makes a lot of sense because the first wave of buyers, which are me and you, JTech, we're going to buy the next PlayStation day one.
Yeah, day one.
Then you have the Black Friday shoppers. Then you have the Christmas shoppers. And I don't know how important tax return people are, but that will be your next wave of shoppers too, people who get their taxes back. After that, there's going to be a drop off, and you're not going to see a super spike in sales until the next holiday.
Well, just to kind of chime in here, I don't want to rain on your parade, but there won't be an announcement and there won't be a release date for 2019. Sean Layden has actually already came out and said, for the simple fact that, they've already passed the deadline or whatever. They're not announcing anything, to their retailers, because remember, they do their other little conference thing that they have. I forgot what it's called, dedication something or some
destination,
other.
Ain't it?
Destination, there you go. Destination PlayStation or something like that. They said they choose those times. I believe they had it in February. So the retailers would have already gotten information on what would have been released. But how do you release something to the public that hasn't even been explained to the retailers? So 2019 is a negative. That's a negative. Now, I'd be with you if you said maybe March of 2020. That's right before what I believe it ends. Their first quarter or something like that ends in like April or whatever the case may be, or the last quarter of the year ends in like April. I would definitely believe maybe a March release, and that's not too far-fetched if you look at it.
It's not, but I was looking at it from the standpoint of when you can catch the biggest wave of shoppers, and that's during the holiday season. I think that March of 2020 is definitely reasonable, but
I really believe whatever Microsoft is planning for that first console that they streaming box, whatever, I think that's going to come out well before the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Because it's not even there to compete with the PlayStation 5. It's literally there to compete with PS Now, to compete with Google, whatever the fuck they doing, and to compete with that Amazon shit that's supposed to be coming out.
And so wouldn't the 2019 release for that make sense, especially if people are speculating?
No, for that, yes. But the shit that we're waiting for, the next gen PlayStation 5, next gen Xbox, that shit ain't coming in 2019.
You think
that streaming device this gen, or?
Yeah, I think it's this gen.
So what's even the point of releasing it?
Just to give people the option to stream, because look, it all falls in line if you think about it. They just trickled out the information about Xbox Live coming to the Switch and the Xbox app going to the Switch, which means that streaming shit that they're talking about, it's already come to fruition, right? So it would make sense that, okay, now that we've given people who have a Switch the ability to use xCloud, now we're going to give everybody else the ability, if they don't want to, pay for a $200-300 console, we'll give them this streaming box and they can go ahead and stream whatever it is that they have. You know what I mean?
But you can't play this on it whatsoever. Like, it's just strictly digital.
Yeah, it's strictly digital. You can't do anything on it. It's just streaming. That's all it is. So I don't even believe that's out there to compete with the PlayStation 5. I believe now, tinfoil hat moment, I believe that the Xbox One X is going to be a cheaper alternative during the launch of the PS5. You could either pay $500 for this PlayStation 5 and get 4K, or we already lied to you, so we can sell you this Xbox One X at $250. You know what I mean? And tell you that it can do 4K too.
You think they will sell the Xbox One X at $250?
Hell yeah!
I think they could drop to $300. I think they'll do $300.
It's already $400 basically.
This year. I agree that it could.
At least $300, especially with rumors swirling that the PS5 could conceivably cost $400.
Yeah,
they would have no choice but to make the Xbox One X $300, or else it's dead.
I think they're gonna hold off for the X price cut that you're talking about, $250. I definitely see that happening next year. But I see that it could go, because it's the $500 console. It could do $400 this year, and then Sony will drop the PS4 Pro down to $300 or $350 permanently. Right. But yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying, because we have not heard enough noise. Whether, like you said, Destination PlayStation, they haven't said shit. It's confirmed that they're going to the Game Developers Conference, but it's not confirmed they're going to have a huge presence there.
Right.
I think they're going to give some updates on current games that we need release dates for and updates for, which are the games that last until the PS4's release. PS5's release. So I think they're good this year. You know, you still got Death Stranding, you got Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima. You got games that last until they want to come out and talk about the PS5. So we got to move on to this next topic. This is down there, but we got to move to it now. Days Gone is going to be a hit. It's pretty obvious. But Sony didn't want to put it in this month of February because it was a lot of games. Looking at what happened in February with all the games that came out and looking at the review scores that I have in front of you right now, do you think Days Gone still would have had some sort of a chance at getting a fair review? Maybe the sales would have been lower because it's crowded, but do you think it would have got fair reviews, seeing as though the rest of these games were pretty lackluster?
Yes, I do. The main reason, because most of these games, well, actually all of these games on this list that you got, they're all multiplats. When you have an exclusive game, you can put forth the most amount of effort. No, Crackdown is not an exclusive. I'm sorry. Y'all ain't finna tell me it's an Xbox exclusive. Y'all ain't gonna tell me it's a Microsoft Studios exclusive. Y'all just not gonna tell me it's exclusive. It's not exclusive, right? Yeah. So just looking at it from that perspective, if you have a dedicated system that you're developing for, and Mark Cerny is a genius. The way he set up the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 Pro, no matter what you get, you're going to get an excellent quality game, regardless of which one of those systems is going to be on. And in this case, I think that people would have generally had a great experience with Days Gone. And it would have been something different, I would imagine, just because of the way, I mean, you guys seen Deacon's Wedding, right? Like the stuff that I saw in that game, holy, listen, I've seen masterpieces, man. generally speaking, every time I've seen a masterpiece, it's come from Sony, man. And I'm sorry, I know it's gonna be like, yo, but you're a PlayStation Plus podcast, so of course you're gonna say that. No, that's just generally how it's been. If you talk about Last of Us, God of War, Spider-Man, Horizon Zero Dawn, all of those games have one thing in common: the fact that they're exclusive to a Sony platform. I mean, that's just what it is. But I look at Days Gone as it's going to reinvigorate the zombie, the outbreak video game genre. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do think that other company, the one that's making World War Z, I think they're trying to ride the hype of Days Gone by releasing their game on the 16th. So I definitely do believe that.
I think if you feel that you really want that type of experience and you're stupid enough, then you'll go out and buy World War Z. But I don't think that many people are even hyped about that now. I think Adam is not here with us. I am another invite later on. But long story short, he was the one that said that I think the people for World War Z like approached Sony about adding a multiplayer element to Days Gone, which would have been a classic horde mode with multiple players, and it would have been awesome. But I think as is, it's going to be cool. And we've talked about this already about Sony getting into multiplayer, and I clearly think that they want to establish themselves and get boosted up for them to take another swing at it next gen. And I think they did a great job this gen. I think they sold a lot of systems. They made tons of money. They built up their online infrastructure with PlayStation Network and PlayStation Now. They did a great job for them to make a big comeback in the multiplayer arena. And I think they definitely going to do that. They got so many games. They got so many games. You know, you had SOCOM, you had Resistance, you had Warhawk. You had so many great multiplayer experiences, and clearly you have the skills to make new multiplayer experiences. But with that said, I think Days Gone is definitely going to be amazing. It's giving me the epicness of Horizon Zero Dawn and a little bit clearly of The Last of Us with how brutal it can be. You're not just going against zombies, and you can't call them zombies because they've reiterated most of the time that they sleep, they breathe, they drink, they eat, they hibernate. And you know, there's a different breed of, I guess you would call zombies, and they're calling them freakers. And I think you have to respect that. A lot of ignorant people went into this game and said, I don't want this, I want Last of Us. No, it's not the same thing as Last of Us. It's not trying to be like Last of Us. Last of Us was never this open. You never had a vehicle you can drive around in. So, you know, I respect what they're doing. I remember hearing about this with Rated D many years ago. He talked all the time about Sony been working on something and working on it.
That was when they were calling it Dead Don't Ride. Remember that? Code
yes, they was calling it Dead Don't Ride. And it's just crazy how far it's come. And I'm glad that it's going to have its own time to shine in April. So I'm happy about that. We'll just move right on to the next one. And that's Dreams PS4. It has a release window for the early access, and that's going to be spring of this year. Early access will start at $30. If you do get that spot for early access and pay that $30, you're going to be able to play every creation that was released in the beta. That was a lot of creations, meaning the people that created it, if they do come back, or if they don't, someone can remix their shit, or they can continue with their stuff. And once you get into the early access, when the game fully launches, you already have the game, so you don't have to pay extra. So that right there is awesome. So basically $30 for Dreams PS4 if you get it early.
That's amazing. I'm gonna tell you guys. Slam dunk. I'm gonna tell you guys. My brother, he's an artist, so y'all will see the game that we're gonna work on in Dreams. I've already talked to him. We've already debriefed and everything, and we're not trying to recreate anything that's already been there. We're gonna make all original content. He's gonna draw out everything. Like when I say he's an artist, he's really an artist. Like he really does this. So he's gonna draw out everything. Hopefully the animations work with what he does put forth. And I'm telling you, man, Dreams is gonna be something special. But can I put on my tinfoil hat just one more moment? I'm gonna make it
no. Do what you gotta do.
Super quick. I really feel like Sony is low-key a genius for Dreams, right? They're giving a limited toolkit, right? A limited development kit to just random people, and they like make some shit. If I was a talent scout and I was looking for people to work for me, you know what I'm saying? This would be the best way to scout. If you could do this with a PlayStation, imagine what you could do if we really gave you the tools to unlock your talent. I really think that this is something that Sony is using to scout for talent out there, man. I think they're tired of the traditional ways, and I think this is going to be something that, you know, not only helps people get into the industry, but it's also going to help Sony, you know, seek out talent and cultivate that talent and bring them, you know, instead of going out and buying studios that already make games for everybody. This is how they're going to build their studios. I truly believe that.
Yeah, Dreams is basically going to be a farm system, like a AA, you know, like the single A baseball team, and they're going to get ready to draft some of these people and bring them up to the majors. Because if these dudes can drive this good with a garbage truck, imagine how good they'll be if you give them a Ferrari or a flat out race car. So this is a very ingenious move. They're going to make a ton of money off this game, and they're going to be able to recruit talent in the process.
Exactly. And I got to say, you know, sometimes we get a little paranoid over here at the PlayStation Legion because we've predicted so much, so many years. So before we even came up with the name of PlayStation Legion, we just, you know, gamers sitting in the party chat just brainstorming, you know, but we came up with so many different ideas and said a lot of crazy shit that we thought was crazy, and it ended up happening. One of the major things me and Adam talked about is that the game should start out digital and it should be given away for a cheap price. Our price point was $40. We put it out there on the PlayStation Legion podcast one of these weekends, probably a good amount of weeks ago, that the game should be given away for $40 digital first, and then later on given away physical. It seems like they were listening because they didn't go with $40. They went with $30. How can you ignore something with unlimited potential, unlimited content? I mean, the 10 for hot moment that I was hoping you would say is, what if Kojima gets on here? What if Cory Barlog gets on here? You know, they play other people's games all the time, but this isn't a game. And to think about that, I've saw real artists, you know, get on here and make crazy shit, put their everything they draw on paper and breathe life into it on Dreams. I've saw, of course, the recreation people, which is big, like Mario, but it was this sculpture. You know, it didn't have life. You couldn't move it or make them jump, but it was a sculpture I had. I don't know if you guys saw it on Twitter. It was for Conquer. And how they made Conquer look on Dreams was literally identical. I wish I could post a damn picture in the chat, but it was identical. And I was like, it was so scary because it was like, they have that skill. They can do anything. Right. Not just kiddie characters, but mature characters. That one first-person shooter level that was dark and gritty, and it was raining in a city, and it just looked so real. It looked like just a normal game that a big-time developer would put out. This game is going to change a lot of shit. It's going to change a lot of stuff, and it's definitely going to be put out. If it's coming out in spring, it should come out before fall. So, going to come out this summer. That's what I believe they're going to do. Anytime between
May. I just want to see how robust this engine is, man.
Oh, me too.
At the end of the day, like, because why would you want to code and do all this extra stuff where you could just go to Dreams and just make the game straightforward? Like, save yourself a lot of time.
Right.
If you're a developer, like, if you're the Celeste developer, you just use Dreams to make your game or something.
Imagine coming home and turning on your PlayStation, and you see that there's a message from the Sony Corporation on there.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Yeah, because I think that's probably how they're going to reach out to the talent that they're probably going to recruit. If they don't have a way of reaching them by email, they might send a message to them directly.
I've saw some crazy communities in Dreams. We have a gun community in Dreams. They have a like tables and chairs community where people just are good at making tables, chairs, beds, lamps, microwaves. There are so many different types of artists in Dreams that I've experienced their creations, that they make different things. Not everybody is gonna make a character.
You know what? Are people going to be able to collaborate on Dreams? See, you just
yes. No. That's all Dreams is about. You might not be good about making a bed, right? But you're making a game and you have a house, but you're not good at making a bed. You might not be good at making that table or that sink or that toilet. Well, somebody else made a toilet, and you can use it in your creation. So then when you go to the I think not the analytics, a genealogy or whatever of the level, they show the different things that are in the level, and then you can click on those different things and see who made those things, and it's so deep. I was on Dreams for like 2 straight hours, just clicking and clicking and clicking, diving into these different types of tools and sculptures and things. It's just amazing.
And I truly believe, right, like if this does do what it's supposed to do, which most people who played the beta said it's amazing, man, I can't wait for it, man. Like, and you can use it with VR, which is even better, because like the entire level is right before your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like that's going to be an amazing combination. I wonder if they're going to port it over to the PlayStation 5. I would have to believe so. Or are they going to do it like Mario Maker, where they just make another version for the PS5 or something like that?
I think PS5 is going to be full backwards compatibility with PS4. I think the problem, we talked about this on your podcast, will be PS3. So I think that this is, since it's already clearly going to be in the digital PlayStation store, this is backwards compatibility. Just like Little Big Planet? Little Big Planet 3, they had a version on a PS4 and a version on a PS3, but you could play all the levels from Little Big Planet 1 and 2 that were created online. And you had all these levels at your fingertips, including the new levels people made with Part 3. So I think it's going to be something similar to that. The server space will be the problem. But they were able to handle millions of levels on Little Big Planet. So I don't think Dreams should be that hard, since they have new servers, So I think they can do some big things with that. But that's just unlimited content. You buy this game for $30 and just so much. Even if you don't make anything, you have so much content to play.
You know what I think, though? I think there should be tiers to like this Dream thing. Like, hear me out. I know people don't like microtransactions and things like that, but I'm a firm believer of getting paid for your work. You know what I mean? So I don't think it should be a system where you're forced to pay for it. But let's say you want to tip somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you like the level, you feel like they did a good job. I think there should be an option for you to do something like that.
They did talk about something like that to an extent.
Well, let me put this out there. Dreams has a leveling up system, and that is part of the tiers, right? So each day you have a different little contest or whatever. They might say make something from China, or make something that's electric,
Right.
And you create this stuff, and then if you do it and you publish it, you get an experience boost. And the highest people I've saw on there were like level 80s and 70s, and they made some of the best levels. See, I only went as far as 24. I didn't make any levels. I remixed 2 levels. I made a dinosaur smaller in this open world area that somebody made for a city, because I wanted to test out if they can make an open world city, and it's possible, by the way. So I got some boost points for that by publishing my remix of that level. But I only made it to 24, and other people made it as far as 70, 80s, and I think one person was like 91. So that's your tiers. You know how good somebody's level is going to be based on their tiers, but they have confirmed that I think that they're open to allowing people to make money off of the levels by publishing those levels on PlayStation Store, which would be awesome.
Now, here's the thing, right? Now, the reason why I said they should do that, hear me out, because again, I think I'm thinking ahead of the curve, and a lot of people don't think the way I think. Money is motivation for a lot of people, right? Keeping this game alive will be indicative of creators creating, right? All right. So if I'm a creator and I'm creating stuff, and I'm making money off of this shit, I'm gonna keep creating. I'm gonna want to do bigger and better things because I'm gonna want to keep that revenue stream coming in. How could that be a fail? And again, it shouldn't be where you're forced, but you have the option if you want to tip these people to tip these people for the work that they did in the level. And I think that will circumvent any legalities about selling things with other people's like intellectual properties and things, because I'm not paying you for the game. I'm just tipping you because I think you did a good job. You see what I'm saying?
This is great, and I think you need to like ask Media Molecule about it. But this is really a good idea. But you know, it'll be something new that nobody has ever done before. You know, Project Spark would have been the first, but Microsoft didn't believe in that. But yeah, what you're saying, that would be interesting to see if they could do something like that. But I agree. I agree.
They could easily do that though. Just put like next to the level and the name, just put like a tip jar or some kind of an icon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, but you're gonna have comments. They have comments. They have likes. So people, you get to see how many times people like something. You see how many times people have spent on that level by hours. How long the level has even been public. They have a lot of statistics, and that's a good thing. Once again, you understand how good a creator is based on their level that they have achieved. So the highest level during the beta, it was open for 6 weeks, I believe, was 90 and 80. But there's some very creative people there. Adam, I see you snuck in here.
Yeah, man. Sorry about that, man. I was just eating my food and stuff like that, man. So I'm like, no.
Oh, it's all right, man. Just talking to Gordon Ramsay.
No, talk about dreams, man. Like, you know, I agree with the whole tip jar thing. You know, obviously, you know, we got stuff like Twitch and stuff like that allows you to do like bits and, you know, certain little donations. I think it is gonna be interesting if they were trying to do something like that, how they would do it, because, you know, I mean, like what we just discussed, like it would be pretty cool if they could do that, where like people would, you know, because you got the simple basis of like on Facebook or Twitter where you got follows, retweets, and replies, which obviously this game would have, but like it would be pretty cool if, you know, there were people that would, you know, do that, like, you know, like, oh, I like to tip, you know, you for allow me to use your design and being able to do other things with it.
That's another thing. What JayTech said about people, you know, in their own communities, like, hey, I make tables, I make chairs. You can have a literal economy within this game where, you know, if you need a chair, hey, come to this guy. Yo, he's selling chairs for 15 cents a piece or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be really fucking dope.
Yeah, of course.
We got a lot of topics because Adam sucks ass. So
fuck you.
Well done, Adam.
Hold on, Adam. Wait, what?
Halo Infinite is a launch title. No, again, this goes back. We probably should have talked about this right next to all the Xbox stuff. But yeah, was that a surprise?
No,
I don't think that was a surprise for anybody. Like,
yeah, it wasn't really, was it?
Nah,
they showed a cinematic trailer. I didn't think the game was coming out this gen.
When you looked at it, you just knew that couldn't be possible on any
I mean,
current hardware.
The first trailer they showed us was a tech demo of, you know, of Infinite, and like, so I mean, Halo Infinite looks to be like the original idea of what Halo was wanting to be, which is kind of what Destiny is, but obviously there's little things that are different. But like, you know, I mean, until we see more of it, because obviously it was in a tech demo. I mean, you know, I think right now that's their promising game right now, isn't it? I mean, presumably Ninja Theory have something to show. And then, you know, the only other company I can think of that would show something for the next generation console would be Playground Games, you know, Forza and stuff like that. You know, I don't think, you know, Obsidian is still working on that Outsiders game or Outworld. And then obviously Initiative, they are very quiet with what they're doing. Maybe they might give a little glimpse of what they will do, but, you know, I think, you know, I said this to you yesterday, Jay. I think they're going to concentrate on hardware, Game Pass, and third-party games, but with a few games that are inside their infrastructure, which will be Halo and stuff like that. Yeah.
I think hardware is going to be at the bottom of Microsoft's priority list.
Should be.
It should be. But you know, when you're hearing these reports that they are wanting to show the cloud-based system and the hardware-based system for the next gen, and also a diskless Xbox One S or Xbox One, whatever you want to call it. They are. I don't know why they're doing that console, but anyway, it looks to me like they are still trying to push hardware. You know, even when what they saying, like 41 million, something like that. Like, it's interesting, you know, for them to still keep on doing this, but you have to see how it all goes down. I mean, I think their big thing will probably be the Nintendo news. You know, if this is true, no, passing over was Xbox Live to Nintendo, which we'll have to wait and see on that note. But
I swear, man, and I'm not trying to change the subject, but I'm looking at what you have on screen there. Man, my mind is blown.
Listen, I saw this story earlier this week, and it said $500. So the guy must have something must have happened with the store. Wait up. To go through to 500. Oh, that's horrible. So he paid 500. He paid 500 United States dollars, but it was actually $704 to go through 500 boxes in hopes to getting the elusive items.
Wow.
Ooh.
I want to talk about this. My boy Somatic.
What, how stupid he is?
No, what happened with Somatic and how this is related. And I wanted to talk about this for a long time, but I need people to talk about this with microtransactions, loot boxes. I don't agree with it. I'm sorry, I don't. I think that shit needs to go, and I know it never will. But I don't agree with it. And if you're gonna say, "Oh, this is free to play," it better be free to play. And yes, you're gonna go bankrupt because you're not gonna have a source. But this is the source, and they're hoping unsuspecting consumers are as dumb as this individual that will literally go to almost fucking $1,000 through boxes looking for some fucking item that won't make your life better. But hey,
it's one of the many saps, man.
Hey, there you go.
Loot boxes, dude.
$700, man.
So I see. The funny thing is, talking about loot boxes, I'm having the same problem with Black Ops 4, which they actually patched and changed how long it takes for you to get a reserve pack. And when it comes to loot boxes, for me, I don't mind them being in the game. But I always say that they should prioritize the aspect of players earning it via playing the game more than having to buy whatever currency it is to do basically what you're showing right now.
That's what I understand. And also make it skill based. Like if you get a certain amount of headshots, you're definitely guaranteed to get a specific type of weapon as a reward. Instead of, again, spending a lot of money on currency to open boxes that you're not guaranteed to get the weapon that you deserve.
You know what they should do? They should make it where even if you get some of these weapons, you can't use them unless you meet a certain criteria. That'll stop people from buying loot boxes.
Yeah, you're right.
Okaloka just hit it right on the head. He said he would have ordered the PS5 with that money. You would have had a better chance.
Exactly. There you go, man.
Two of the things you could have done with that.
You go.
Yeah, you could have took that money to the casino and would have had a better chance of coming out of there with more money.
You know, it's weird though, because people tell me all the time, they say, I don't care about microtransactions or whatever if it's in a free-to-play game. And I'm like, dude, what's the difference if it's free or not?
Yeah.
If it's free and you're like this dude and you spend $700, dude.
Let me give you guys I want to give you guys a life story of I'm not blaming this game for microtransactions, but PlayStation Home. I used to be on that shit hard. I really like PlayStation. Hey, shut the hell up. I used to be on PlayStation Home hard.
Talk about.
Shut the hell up. And yeah, I got, like a digital haircut for my character because I wanted my character to have a shape up. And no, I'm just saying I got a lot of red and black shit.
Keep them fresh, man.
But outside of the things that I did get, or personal space, or a bike that was red and black, or some dumb shit like that, there was my friend at the time, early days of PlayStation gaming and PS3. His name was Legacy Killer, and this nigga, he was so skilled, bro. He was a more skilled gamer than me. and PlayStation Home had the Assassin's Creed area and Dead Space area and had all these different third-party areas and exclusive areas. This nigga was skilled. He went to each and every one of the areas, and what he did was he got that high score, he got those rewards, and he pimped himself out with nothing but free shit. Now, PlayStation Home didn't have microtransactions. You wanted something, they charge you a certain amount of money for it, just like what Six Humor was saying with Dreams. So, yeah, you wanted a certain chair, they will charge you a little bit for it, 50 cents, $1, something like that. I'd rather it be like that so you learn your lesson of disappointment. If you spend that much money, you're disappointed 100% in yourself. You can't use that excuse that, oh, the game is free, so it doesn't make sense. Yes, it makes sense, because you're spending money to buy fake money, to use that fake money to buy something that you're not guaranteed to get. You know, and that's what
I'm guilty as charged, because I'm not. I was one of those people that like felt like, you know, if you're going to hit us over the head with microtransactions, at least make the game free. But I could control my spending. I mean, a free to play game, they probably wouldn't get more than $10 out of me for a couple of skins, and that would have been it.
Now, I said all I said because at the end, when PlayStation had went offline, I think it was 2013, 2014, a lot of people was mad. They were mad at Sony, and they wanted their money back because they had brought these digital items. And when the server goes offline, clearly you're not going to have access to it. I wasn't pissed off because I always had a job, and I didn't spend that much money to be so pissed off and like, well, man, I need my money back. No, I was like, at that point in time, you know, I had stopped spending so much. It had been, you know, 2 years since the new group of people came on there, and they got a hang of it. They just hanged out there for free. You didn't need PlayStation Plus for online last gen, so, you know, Sony wasn't making any money off of PlayStation Home at the last 2-3 years that it was out. So yeah, of course they cut it off, but a lot of people were pissed off. Some people said they spent $5,000 on PlayStation Home, and I'm trying to figure out how.
In this day and age of avatars and social media and that kind of shit, I think if Sony would have brought something like that back, it would probably do pretty good. I think that was just something that, for the most part, a lot of people may not have been ready for. But I thought that PlayStation Home was pretty cool, because I used to like sitting in the movie theaters, watching trailers, going to the mall and playing chess. You know, it was pretty cool. Going to the bowling alley and go bowling inside that PlayStation Home. You do all that stuff, and didn't cost you any money.
And what I liked also, it was an idea I had that they should have brought it back this gen, because they came out with PlayStation VR, and it would have just been the real virtual reality experience. But yeah, well, let's move on. It's good to reminisce.
I mean, you got something like that, you know, with the Rec Room, but that's not Sony. It's you know, it's across the board with Oculus and Vive too. But
they have something else coming out. It's like Avikin or something. It's a successor to Home and supposed to be way more advanced, but it's supposed to drop this April. I'm keeping my eye on it, but you know, it's supposed to be very advanced, and it's also going to use VR. But I want to let you guys know.
Man,
I want to let you guys know about that a little bit later when they
knows me that you know, if I were to consider myself the crumb side, I'm the biggest advocate and the biggest representative of VR.
Okay,
that's the next step right there, man. Once they perfect it.
Exactly. Did we touch on the fact that the Xbox app and Game Pass are coming on Nintendo Switch? I think we did.
Yeah, we touched on that. You know, and I gave my thoughts on what I thought, you know, what could happen. You know, that pretty much solidified that the console is not going to sell very well if it gets to the Nintendo Switch as well as the PlayStation 4. That, you know, these they're only going to make a minimal amount of consoles as needed next generation.
Well, think about this though, Lincoln. It gets even worse because they're porting actual Xbox games. I'm sure Cuphead is coming. There's no reason why Cuphead wouldn't come. I'm sure Cuphead is coming. I know that they said that they have plans to port Ori, the next Ori. Dude, if I own a Switch, why am I going to buy an Xbox? Just honestly speaking, if I prefer playing handheld and on the go, and you have some people out there like that they don't care about sitting in front of a TV. They just want to have this little thing in their hand and they want to play. If that's the case, why would I need to buy an Xbox? Now, here's the thing. I know Microsoft doesn't care because it's all the same to them. They're getting the same money regardless, right? But Xbox fans should be disturbed about this because those guys aren't winning at all. Yes, everybody gets to play all the games. Ha 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 ha. You know, we can sit around a campfire and we can laugh about it, right? But at the same time, for somebody, let's say I was the person who invested in the Xbox and I bought every iteration of the Xbox. What am I getting? Nothing.
And to add to what you say is sick, the toxic fanboys and the loyal Xbox fans are the ones who kept the brand alive throughout the generation.
Yes.
And I think Microsoft profited off of them. And even though Phil Spencer lied when he said he don't like fanboys and shit like that, he kept this fucking fan war going on. He kept this console war going on by vilifying Sony with the crossplay, amongst other things. They couldn't talk about how good the PlayStation, the Xbox was, without trying to subtract something from the PlayStation. So he used the PlayStation name to throw dirt on the PlayStation name, and he used that as a predatory move on the toxic fanboys to keep this brand alive this generation. And this is what they're getting for a reward, that they are no longer a priority. They basically being cast out.
And let's go on to what y'all all saying. They sold these guys a new $5 console that was supposed to be more powerful than Sony's last $400 console and their current $400 console. And does it really even matter? First of all, they started this dumb shit with putting those games that would be enhanced on Xbox One X on the PC and keeping them there. Now, as far as all their children-related games, when they go to the Nintendo Switch, no one will have a reason for buying an Xbox. Nintendo Switch is already hot. It is super hot. And you're gonna make them hotter than they already are? I'm trying to figure out what kind of weed is Phil Spencer smoking with the rest of the people in that fucking office when they making up these fucked up plans, man. Because
here's the thing. Phil said it. He said it himself, Jay. He said, "We don't care about the box." He said this. It came out of his mouth.
Damn.
He said all they care about is the services. He doesn't care if you go out and buy the box. He said that's the reason why they've been subsidizing the majority of Xbox One X's. Because they don't care about the box. They just want people to pay a recurring monthly fee. They want that service to be out there. They want people to access the service, to use the service. They want people to utilize the service. That's it. Mm. So for a person who's been championing the Xbox this entire generation, talking about better multiplats, this, blah, 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 4K 2005 games, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand it, but there's people out there who's championing that type of thing. Mm-hmm. They basically telling you, we ain't got nothing for y'all, but we need to get all these other people over here on board. So yeah, y'all keep paying that Xbox Live. You know what I'm saying? That's going to help us subsidize these people not having to pay for it. PC, don't pay for Xbox Live. Still get to play on Xbox Live. Still get to talk to people from Xbox Live. Nintendo Switch. Those people ain't finna pay for no Xbox Live. Game Pass, I think that's going to be something they have to pay for. But Xbox Live, no. They're not going to make you pay for no Xbox Live on a console that isn't even an Xbox.
And people then you go with the alienation. This happened last gen. And a lot of people don't remember this because it was a console war. But it happened last gen. Microsoft tried to take the PC by storm, failed real bad. They tried to make the PC community pay for Xbox Live because the 360 community was already doing it. They said no. They said fucking no. And guess what happened today? They are never paying for Xbox Live. They stood their ground. They said, fuck you. You won't buy shit you're doing. They still not buying any of their games on the Windows Store. They would rather buy their games on Steam, but now you have a new internal fight between Steam and Epic Game Store, which is splitting the PC landscape in a different way. It makes it even harder for Microsoft to sell their shit on their store because nobody really even cared about Microsoft's store in the first place. Now Steam has to compete with the Epic Games Store. So when those two big giants are competing right now, again, Microsoft put their shit on PC, expecting the PC fans to support them, and it didn't happen. That's why they're turning to Nintendo about 2 years after they made this decision.
I'm looking at Soldier Boy.
You're looking at Soldier Boy because he's the greatest gamer of all time.
Let me tell you a secret, though, Jay. Let me tell you a secret, bro. Microsoft don't care about the Windows Store. Not at all.
I know they don't. They never push that shit hard. They just put it there to say we're open to putting our games everywhere. They try to get that narrative out there that games for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now Microsoft, they're trying to play a divide and conquer game, though. Tell me if you've thought of this, if you've analyzed this particular situation. Hear me out. The Epic Store.
Mm-hmm.
Who helped Epic get that crossplay stuff that they've been fighting for so long for? Because it was long before Microsoft started talking about it. Epic
Who did that?
Was crying and crying and crying about it. Microsoft did. They're the ones who made the big stink about it, right?
Yeah, because I mean, technically, Epic were with Microsoft. Obviously, when they were making Gears 1, 2, and 3, and Judgment, 1, 2, and 3, they were called Epic Games, weren't they? Then they they sort of renamed them Coalition as a part of their own studios.
Right.
So,
so you ever heard of you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back?
Yeah, of course.
Right? So you helped me get crossplay, right? That's something that Microsoft wanted as well as Epic. Microsoft helps Epic get a piece of the PC mindshare. Have you noticed all of the little timed exclusives or exclusive deals that Microsoft has? Epic has those same deals on the PC.
Oh, damn. Yeah, you're right.
See, y'all not putting two and two together. See, y'all looking at it on the surface level. Microsoft gave Epic Azure servers. Epic confirmed this. They said that they don't use it in Fortnite, but they have them. So who has a vested interest in making sure that Epic succeeds? Microsoft. See, y'all gotta start paying attention. And
that makes a lot of sense because they clearly don't like Steam.
They got Division 2.
That makes a lot of sense.
Division 2 with that as well.
Epic Store. And they couldn't get Anthem because that's EA's game.
Yeah, it's EA's game.
And EA has Origins.
Yeah, they can't touch that, I'm afraid.
Me personally, I still don't understand why the PC fanboys are pissed off. I told you I debated a lot of these guys last year, and they weren't going to buy the games at full price anyway. So I don't know why they care where you can buy them at, because you're not going to buy them anyway. Not day one. You got to wait for a sale. And the difference between Epic Game Store, I don't believe they're going to be dropping to those crazy prices like Steam Store does. But again, they're going to be on Epic Game Store exclusively. So you're going to have to buy them over there. It's crazy. Reggie Fils-Aimé retiring. This is a big shock to me because I was expecting it to be in 2020. It is close to 2020, but I expected him to retire in 2020 or at least after the next generation console war got started. I don't think this was a good move, me personally. I don't know the Bowser guy. I don't even remember his face. Reggie is like the last of the Titans leading Nintendo with name and face recognition. And Nintendo Switch is on top right now, and I don't think this should have happened yet. I think.
Tell me this. What does Reggie do?
Nothing, but he's just a face. That's what I said. That's what I said. No, I said that though. I said name and face recognition. I don't know what he does, bro. That's all I said.
Like, I have no idea who this guy is, dog.
Yeah, I don't know what he does, and let's be honest. I said name, face recognition. To Nintendo fans, man, that matters though. Let's be honest. That matters. As soon as you put Mario in a box, that game will sell.
They don't even know.
To me, Reggie is Tommy. You remember Tommy from the show Martin? Yo,
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know what this nigga
nobody
does.
knows what he does.
I don't know what he does, bro. Like
they claim he was like some president or something.
But I never seen him until Iwata died. When Iwata died, that's when he surfaced. I had no idea where he came from.
I think Iwata was more important than Reggie, but because Reggie quickly filled those shoes and he was around with Iwata, it does mean something to the fan base that he's leaving. But me personally, just thinking about this new generation of consoles coming out, hopefully this Bowser guy takes things a tad bit more seriously. Yeah, you can have the wackiness of Nintendo, but kind of try to move it into a serious role. You're going to have to make a good amount of relationships with the third-party developers to start, really biting into what Sony has going.
Are they
means you need a more
executives based on how closely they resemble their own characters? Like at this point, because I don't
with
understand.
Them picking a guy named Bowser, I would have to agree with you. like
what's the criteria here?
I'm trying to figure that out. Why did you really have to pick a guy named Bowser to be the fucking president? Like our mayor in DC is her last name is Bowser, by the way. And when I fucking saw that she was running, all I thought was Bowser the fucking dragon on whatever he is, the Cooper King on Mario. That's all I thought. I didn't care about what she did. I just know that she had the last name of a video game character. And I don't know, bro. It would be real stupid if that's the case, but he's going to be a mascot, just like Reggie. He's going to be the face of Nintendo. Hopefully they can accept it. He has to do something because he's a white male. No offense, not being racist. He's a white male. He's bald, and he just doesn't look like he sticks out much. So he's going to have to wear a hat or a mustache or something. He has to do something to stand out because he has two big shoes to fill. Iwata and Reggie are gone now. And that's a huge gap to fill. I don't see Miyamoto out on the trail anymore, and I know he's fucking old
he
right
still
now.
Can't talk English, right?
No, he can't.
Okay.
And I don't think he's trying to.
So he's out.
Yeah, so he's out. So with that being said, what I want to ask you guys, do you think Bowser can do anything? Like I said, we're going to go get a picture real quick.
I still don't know what this man do, bro. Like you can say he the president, but that means
he's just a face, bro.
That's like a rubber stamp position.
It's kind of like what's happening with Sony. Like some of the motherfuckers, they literally,
they need to go ahead and fire Sean Layden.
No,
don't fire Sean Layden, man. He's
over in the back. But he is in the back. He's over top of like the quality assurance of PlayStation exclusive.
No, he's over Worldwide Studios. Like I know his position. I know what he does.
Really?
But yeah. He's over Worldwide Studios. That's his thing. Like
really? I thought they put him somewhere else.
See, I told you it's confusing because when you look at this thing, it says chairman, then it says Yoshida Worldwide, but they both kind of act on Worldwide's behalf, so it's just weird.
I think
that is weird.
Do y'all not think it's weird that Reggie's leaving at this particular time? Like it's weird. Like they're at the peak of success right now.
Yeah, that is weird.
And he's not taking another position, is he?
No,
he's just retiring.
He's retiring for real. He looks very good, man.
See, I don't know. I don't follow Nintendo like that, so I don't know if he's retiring because he wants to, hang it up and ride off into the sunset, or if he's getting pushed out the door.
I think he's getting pushed.
I think
he's getting pushed. Yeah,
I agree because
the last time Nintendo was in a good spot, that's what happened with Iwata. They was like, oh, we got the Wii, and the Wii. Remember, the first Wii was good. Then they put Iwata out front, and then when the Wii U, it's just crazy, bro. Nintendo should not have done this. Not before PS5 and the next Xbox come out. I think this is a bad idea. Okay, here's the guy's face. You see him? What do you think? He just looks like your generic CEO of a company. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, this is your president now?
I don't really know what to
it's
say.
Not a modeling contest.
This guy I've never heard of him, honestly. I don't know who's heard of him. I think it would have been very clear if somebody who worked for Nintendo had the last name Bowser. That's like an iconic character for Nintendo's history, my guy, since the beginning. But I've never heard of the guy before now, and now I mean he kind of now I ain't gonna even go there, man. But
he won't have a Phil Spencer standing on top of his head though, Willie, because with Matt Booty taking Phil Spencer's old job, it doesn't matter what Matt Booty does. The first thing probably gonna pop out of everybody's head is that okay with Phil? Did Phil give him the green light to do it?
Okay,
you know?
we got a comment, man. Thank you guys. I do have a super chat, but thank you guys. He said that he used to work for EA, and this is not fucking good.
Who used to work for EA? That guy?
Yeah, this guy.
Bro, he looked like Jared from Subway, bro. Like he reminds me of Jared.
Let's go look him up. So we got, as of right now, his name is Doug Bowser. Douglas Bowser or Doug Bowser. We about to go see what he's all about, because hopefully they don't put no crazy shit on Google. No,
is this the new face of Nintendo?
Yes. Yeah, we're about to go see who Doug Bowser is.
Yeah, when it comes to all these companies, right? Every company has a face, right? Xbox have got Phil Spencer, we got Sean Layden, we used to have Jack Trenton, and then like they've got Reggie, which is now this guy. I mean, like the reason why these guys are here, obviously they have other roles, but like they have that sort of face where like everyone's like, okay, I know this guy, instead of having people like, I know, like Mark Cerny on there. Then when we used to have, when PS4 was announced, we had Mark Cerny, Andrew House, we had Jack Trenton, we had Adam Boyd.
Okay, so yeah, it's confirmed that he did work for Electronic Arts. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We about to go see what his EA history is, because
that's a bit of a touch and go. That is, man.
Yeah,
he might be getting ready to bring a piece of the evil empire with him.
Oh shit! I mean, Nintendo got this
microtransactions for everybody.
They doing microtransactions at Nintendo. They're doing season passes.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, he will bring more, but hopefully, with his long-standing relationship with EA, he would bring that back. Because remember, EA and Nintendo do not have a good relationship. So the next Nintendo system needs to put a bump in that power. They cannot keep splitting that shit because they want to make something on the go. They need to have a challenging system as far as power is concerned.
Hey, listen, Sony need to jump back in that ring and make another Vita. PlayStation Portable. Nope, stay as far away from the name Vita as fucking possible.
I know, but do something with the portable. Yeah, they look, every handheld they had, even the Vita, they were good.
I'm not talking anything bad about the Vita, but you don't want people to get their new handheld misconstrued with the Vita, because when you search it, all you're gonna find out is negative stuff about the Vita. Oh, the memory card, this and da 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 da. They need to do a rebrand when it comes to mobile, because Nintendo can't go unopposed. I'm sorry, they can't. PlayStation PSP was the biggest challenger for Nintendo's handheld market, and Nintendo did not like that.
But let's be honest, even though the 3DS is out there on the store shelves, different models, they don't really care that much about it. They're still putting games on there. It's kind of like when the PS3 came out and the PS2 was still getting games, but they weren't getting that many games. You see what I'm saying? So I wonder if it's time for Nintendo to go back and bring out a new handheld, or if the rumor I saw, they're going to make a Nintendo Switch Mini, which would be just like a Switch that doesn't have the detachable little Joy-Cons, and just have that shit at $200. That's a rumor, by the way, guys. I saw it hanging around a couple weeks ago with a picture that I don't know if it's fake or not. But
one of the PS5 rumors is a portable controller.
That was a rumor, too. And also, I want to say, how many people played Spider-Man and looked inside of the video game shops? Spider-Man PS4. How many people looked inside the video game shops on Spider-Man PS4?
I must say I didn't.
I was on the
JayTech. Shut the hell up. There is what we call a Easter egg inside. It looked like a Pro, and instead of your classic PlayStation controller, they had a Vita there. There was also a Vita handheld controller that you found underneath the bridge in the park. So
you think they putting out hints?
I think they putting out hints. Sony is not one of those companies that just do something and don't follow up. But they're quiet this year. Like, they're quiet. You know, it's not just another console to them. There's something else coming. And I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
I think they got the foot on the necks of the VR industry right now. Oh, shit. By the way, Lincoln, you still here?
Yes, I am.
The Oculus. I was looking at it and I was so close to picking it up, but what do you think about it? I'll talk to you about it later. I don't want to drive the podcast away from.
No.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
You know, putting it shortly, I have to be brutally honest. It is more powerful than the PS VR, especially with the computer that I got. The Steam store has way more game between the Oculus store and the Steam store. There's way more games there. There's way more free-to-play games there. These are complete games. Whereas the PlayStation store, you've got demos and experiences there. There's really no free full games over there. But see, the thing, if for somebody who doesn't have either of them, which one I recommend to them depends on the situation, how much money they want to spend, and all that kind of stuff. And Firewall puts a serious kink in the situation to me, because that aim controller peripheral makes Firewall the best first-person shooter game in VR.
This motherfucker wants me to pay $1.
So, but you already have the PlayStation VR. So I think $350 for the Oculus, I think, is a pretty good deal. And I'm literally enjoying it. Did you see my latest stream where I was playing football in VR?
That's what I was looking for. Is it a real football game or like that stick figure shit that they had on the PlayStation?
It's a real football game. It was like, man, this game that I was playing is proof that next generation, a game like Madden can be done in VR. In the situation with this game that I was playing, you're being put in certain situations, like the football part of it that I was playing. I'm running a 2-minute drill. You're put in a certain basketball situation, where you're trying to get a man open for the open shot. That's pretty cool. I haven't played the hockey part of it yet because I'm still learning how to stream from my PC, but I will be doing some more streams tonight on that game.
So what about the tracking?
None. I had no issues whatsoever. A lot of people recommend that you get the third sensor, but I'm doing just fine with the 2 sensors that I have. I have to be brutally honest. I do love the PlayStation VR, but some of the games do drift. There is drift issues with some of the games. But, being that you already have a PlayStation VR and you do like it, I have no problem recommending Oculus for you. I like it. My son absolutely likes it too. And to be honest, the resolution is a little bit cleaner on Oculus too.
Okay. All right. Enough said.
They got a wireless already, don't they?
Bro, Lincoln, send me a link. You probably have to send me a link on what's your YouTube name? Because I don't think I'm subscribed to you, or I'm not getting your notifications. So I need to know what your YouTube name is.
Yeah, let me send it to you right here.
Just send me the link, and because I want to put on everybody. I see it's 41 of you guys. I want to thank you guys. We're going into a little bit of a long stretch, but keep it locked here. We got some interesting topics. Make sure you click the notification. YouTube is not doing good in terms for the smaller YouTubers. Yes, I got 8,000 or 7,000 subscribers. But it doesn't help that they don't give you the notifications. The best way to get notifications for independent videos or for live streams is to click the notification by the subscribe button. Make sure you do that. Thanks. That will help me out a lot to keep you guys locked here when we start something. Thanks, Lincoln. So this is where it gets big. This is what we wanted. We wanted this confirmation. PS5 backwards compatibility patent. We got this earlier this week, and I had a smile on my face ever since I heard it.
Haven't they not patented it twice?
What? Yeah, they
patented it like a few weeks ago, man. They were talking about
it. It's the same thing that happened with Game Pass. We heard about Game Pass going to the Switch weeks ago, but then they brought it back out, this week. So. Game Developers Conference is right around the corner. That's probably why we're hearing about this shit again, of the Game Developers Conference.
It's pretty much just like the Xbox emulation, right?
Oh, that's crazy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, dude, I
Might be
just
the
read
end of
the entire
remasters.
thing, or at least up to the point where it ends. No, this isn't gonna be like Xbox. It looks like. Oh no. Well, I guess yeah. With the emulation.
Yeah, because the past game is supposed to have like natural improvements. You don't have to do anything or buy like a different edition.
If they can get this right with PlayStation 3,
that's what I want, bro. That's what I want.
Holy
and also, they need to put the whole library to the PS3 on PlayStation now, whatever they're doing. They have to put the whole library. They're missing some games, man. They're missing some games. Like I didn't see Folklore. That was a good launch title game. That was
very underrated.
Very underrated. But this right here, that was the biggest news that I heard this week that I loved. I love that news.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I really don't care about anything before PS3 as far as backwards compatibility. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything's wrong with the games. I'm just saying I don't care for that to be a priority.
Mm-hmm. And you played them all already.
Boy.
Even PS3, I want this more for the people who want it than for me. It's not necessarily for me, but I want it for the people who actually want it. I'm good if they just do PlayStation 4 emulation.
Like, I have to put an asterisk on what you just said there, right, Sick? I'm in 100% agreement with you. Me, myself, I do not need backwards compatibility because I'm just fine with keeping my previous consoles. Because you might as well be an Xbot if you're going to spend $500 for a console and screaming to play old games on it. I mean, so my take on this is that if they want to put backwards compatibility in it, that's fine, but I do not want it to come at the expense of performance, for the PS5. Don't sacrifice any of the performance for the PS5 in order to achieve this backwards compatibility. I am just fine with keeping my PlayStation Pro in order to play PS4 games, but like Six said, for the people, it's probably a good thing that they at least be backwards compatible for PS4 games, because Sony split a lot of people's heads open with all those flash sales. People bought games that they haven't even touched yet.
Exactly.
Bruh.
Yeah.
If I showed you my backlog right now, bro, you'd be like, "What the f are you gonna do?"
Oh,
I have a shelf with over 300-400 games, and I've maybe gotten to 50 of them.
Damn.
Now that's not even to mention the over 700 games that I have that was downloaded from the PlayStation Store.
Oh shit,
that's crazy.
Damn.
I can't do it. That's why I gotta stop buying games, bro. Like I'm only buying like the stuff that I was looking forward to, such as Sekiro. I got Days Gone pre-ordered already. Of course, I got Days Gone pre-ordered. The Great Fuck Nigga Edition, as I want to call it. But I did get theirs, and man, I can't wait for it. I did pre-order Anthem. Love that fucking game. Yo, I'm sorry, and I apologize for cursing, but I love Anthem. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care what reviewers say. I don't care about none of that. I've been enjoying that on PC and on PlayStation alike. and that's just what it is.
Well, you need to team up. Me and Sam got it. We need to team up, man.
Facts.
I was on there yesterday. The game is beautiful. It's
so Jay, I mean, if you get it, you're gonna get it on a PlayStation or on PC?
Anthem. No, I already paid for it. I already have it.
Okay.
PS4. Yeah, I need to. If I'm gonna do any of that PC gaming stuff, I do need a PC. I've been working with a laptop for many years, so if I'm, I think my next investment, as far as like any PC shit, is definitely gonna be just getting a desktop, because I have a laptop. I just don't go anywhere with it, so it's really no point in keeping the laptop. But yeah, I'm trying to save up for a good desktop, good monitor, shit like that.
I just rebuilt. I gutted one of my old PCs that had a 1060 in it, because I have one that got a 1060. I got one that has a 1070. I have one that has a 1080 Ti, and I got one that I'm working on right now that I'm gonna put the 2080 Ti in.
I was just about to ask you that if you was gonna get a hold of that 2080.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get the 2080 Ti. But the one that I just got it was the one with the 1060, and I turned that into a dedicated streaming PC. It is amazing, and it costs less than $500 for me to build.
Damn, motherfucker!
Yeah,
anybody, give me those specs because I'm gonna need somebody to build that shit. I don't got time for building. But give me that list, man. Give me that list. It's like a part picker shit.
That's a website. Hold on. Let me correct what I'm saying. It's not built for playing games. It's only built as a streaming PC.
No, that's what I want. That's what I'm about to put in.
Okay.
Gotcha. When I get my PC first, all I want is for it to be streaming. Streaming and available to capture from my PS4 because I'm trying to get this Aver Meteor. I think it went up to 250. It's going to be capturing a 4K and HDR. That's the capture device I want, and I need a computer that's going to be available to do all that.
All right, let me put something together for you right now.
Okay, thanks. These are the most important topics. They're coming at the end. These are some big topics. We're going to mix these two together, so everybody's going to get two impressions. E3 2019 is not a video game. Okay, that's the first topic, because every Xbox fanboy keeps telling people to wait until E3 as if it's a playable video game, but it's not. I need your impressions on that. Is Phil Spencer doing a good job? Okay, who's going first?
He's not doing a good job. Not doing a good job at all, man. Just telling them what they want to hear, not delivering, doing the same thing over and over every year. Same thing, rinse, repeat. Taking all that shit to his bank account.
You're right about this.
Myself, I think, to put it in simple terms, I could have been Phil Spencer.
For real.
Because he was in the right place at the right time. Donnie D pissed a lot of people off when he said that shit like, if you don't like it, get a 360. He became public enemy #1. So anybody who came in behind Donnie D, all they had to do was act like they was going to erase all of Donnie D's work, and he was an instant hero. So right around the time that Phil Spencer came in was right around the time that Microsoft lifted that DRM shit. So I don't know who really did it, but it seems like Phil got the credit for it, and he became an instant hero. And then they've been caressing his testicles ever since.
I had people tell me he's a genius, like straight up, he's a genius, like a visionary. Like, this is insane to me. This dude's literally done nothing the entire generation.
When somebody's the bad guy and they remove him, whoever comes in next. I mean, shit. Look at Trump, for instance. The people that love Trump love him when he was campaigning for president. A lot of the people that were supporting him because he was talking like he was going to go back and undo all the shit that Obama did.
He did it though. He did it.
So with that being said, I could have been Donald Trump. I could have been Phil Spencer. All I had to do was come in and act like I was going to undo the shit that everybody was fussing about. They didn't do anything ingenious. And then I think with this cloud gaming and this Game Pass and shit like that, I think to me it's not innovative, it's not ingenious. It's been done before. Sega had the Sega Channel God knows how long ago. I think Game Pass and cloud gaming is a desperate move from Microsoft because they know they can't do it selling consoles.
That's fun. That's.
They're still not jumping into VR either, right?
No.
Oh.
No, they're not jumping into VR.
They never do this unless it's proven.
But didn't they have some units though with like Asus or Acer? Somebody was helping them do VR headsets, but I don't know if I don't think they're bringing it to Xbox.
When they first talked about high fidelity VR for the Xbox One X, when they talked about that at E3, they were supposed to have partnered up with Oculus, but it never came to fruition. And they are not going to put their hand in VR now because, as I've said before, Microsoft knows the next generations of Xboxes are not going to sell. So it doesn't make sense for them to invest a lot of money into VR. And then when you talk about the hardware, I think the only hardware that's going to be capable of running VR would be the Anaconda. And I'm not even sure, I'm not even sure the Xbox One X would be able to properly run VR with all the frame rates and screen tearing and shit like that happens, from time to time with these games. With that being said, it would be absolutely stupid to invest money into a peripheral to put on a console that's not going to sell.
So I understand what you're saying, but as you can see right here, we're going to step into VR. They clearly had plans to do so, but we talked about this before, Lincoln, that they didn't believe it was going to pan out.
Well, no, that's
not even hardware side, but I'm thinking more software side.
Let's go back to what I was saying about Microsoft. Microsoft doesn't take any chances. Microsoft looks for drug money. They look for shit to happen overnight. They don't build anything. They want, they want to put something out there, and then the next day it makes $500 million. They don't build shit the way Sony does. Sony is building this VR platform, and they're sticking with it. They knew it was going to be a slow start, although it's a little bit slower than they wanted, but they knew it was going to be a slow start. And now they're starting to reap the rewards of sticking with it, the hard work that they put in for VR. Microsoft, I think because of Sony's slow start, that's why I think they did not get involved in VR. Now, I'm telling you, if Sony would have introduced VR at the beginning of the generation, when it first started, I think it's very well possible that Sony could easily be sitting on 20 million VR headsets sold, and Microsoft would have jumped in it because they would have saw that there was money to be made off of it. But because of the slow start, Microsoft piggybacks off of people.
And it happened last gen with the fucking Kinect. It happened last gen with Kinect, man.
I was going to say that because with the Wii, they piggybacked off the Wii right on down to the fucking avatars. They copy Wii off of that shit. They are not innovative. They see what makes money and they jump on it like that. They want that drug money, that now money.
Yeah, this is it was so sad that Microsoft had these plans for VR and they never even tried to do it with remember they used to say that the Oculus was going to be compatible with the new Xbox, and then ain't nothing happened. Yeah, they said a lot of shit, man. They said
I'm really disappointed because the high fidelity VR that they promised was going to be my reason to buy the Xbox One X, because I have to be honest, if they partnered up with Oculus along with the Xbox One X, the resolution was going to be cleaner than the PlayStation VR. No way around it. And I just wanted to have that second option as a VR, but they didn't do it. So there was no reason for me to buy an Xbox One X.
Yeah, I remember they presented Fallout on VR with it, trying to promote it initially. And they just went away into video game land.
Yeah, they got a lot of problems right now, man. They're piggybacking off a lot of things. So to be honest, they've been piggybacking off a lot of things for some time right now, man. I mean, last generation, the reason why last generation happened the way it did was because, one, PlayStation got arrogant. Let's all face it. They did a cell processor, which didn't help them out on the third-party games. They had, and pretty much like what they did with their studios was basically their saving grace for this generation. They basically set up every single studio right, and then when they came to this generation, they had a lot of studios working on first-party games that actually were very good.
Can I ask you a question? I'm not sure who's talking right now, and I do.
Fusion, Admiral.
Who was it? Is it Adam?
Adam.
Yeah.
Adam. Oh, okay, Adam. Now, when y'all say things like a company is getting arrogant, right? What exactly does that mean? Could you kind of break that down to me?
So basically, you see how PlayStation 2 ruled the roost, right? It saw a shit ton of, was it 150 million? It was 150 million, right?
Yeah.
And Xbox, they came in like, hi, how you doing? PlayStation was sitting at the top, right? They weren't threatened by Nintendo. They weren't threatened by Xbox. But then when it came down to when they announced the PS3, the pricing, what was inside the console, as well as just the overall wording at that E3 was just fucking to a lot of people it was
confident.
You're it was really confident, but it was a sense of, you know, somebody being confident in front of you, but like demeaning you of your ability, you know, in that subject.
Okay,
So yeah,
imagine this.
that's what it
What if
was.
Sony would have stepped out and said, "Hey, we have a value console. Now, it might not be that great of a console, but it's gonna be okay." I mean, would that been, you know, more of a better way to kind of address like how they present it? I'm only asking these questions because when people say stuff like arrogance, I expect every company to be super confident in their product. As a matter of fact, the more confident you are in your product, the more confident I will be in your product.
That's
if you're coming out and you're shaky about how you feel about your product, then I'm gonna be a little shaky about how I feel about your product because you don't even seem confident in your.
You have to. I mean, the thing is, right, like you just said, you have to, right? They can't go out on stage and be shaky about what they're demonstrating. Otherwise, you know, the vibe that they'll be letting off, whether it, you know, you're there in the seat watching them or live, you know, on your computer, like you want to be feeling confident. It's like the whole aspect of PS4 when they announced it in February. Even though they didn't show the console, you felt like they were going in the right direction where they were like, oh, we asked developers for their input on this console, making sure that what happened last generation with the cell processor didn't happen again. And that's what happened. That's the reason why they asked them.
I want to speak on last gen because I was very heavily invested in the last gen and I witnessed everything. I saw everything. First of all, there was a slander campaign against the PS3 before it even set foot on the store shelves. It had a bad reputation. The 360 was out a whole year ahead, and the fanboys were running crazy. It doesn't matter what games would have came out, that system would have had a bad rep anyway. And it continued to have a bad rep, and the executives from Xbox were not going to fucking stop that shit either, bro. They were
relentless.
Crazy. Yeah, they were relentless. They were playing the dirtiest fucking tricks, buying content, buying games for 2-3 years. The bullshit they had going with Grand Theft Auto, Lost in a Dam, bro, it was fucking brutal. And all I gotta say, yes, I admit they had a rough start. Okay, we all can admit that. But that comeback was something out of a Rocky movie. They had such a good comeback because they were literally listening to the people that mattered.
Well, here's how I feel. Here's how I feel about the PlayStation 3's launch, right? And I'm gonna be as impartial as I possibly can because I bought a launch PS4 day one, and I mean PS3 day one. First and foremost, if I had to ask you guys, the entire panel, what console came out and had HDMI technology embedded from day one? Which console would that be? Would that be the 360? Would that be the PS3? Or would that be the Wii?
I don't know which one.
It would be the PS3. PS3 was future-proof, man.
I'm guessing the PS3.
Oh, the PS3.
It would be.
PS3 was the tank, dude.
If I asked you guys which console came out and moved everything forward with the latest in Blu-ray technology, who would that be?
That would be PS3.
Well, it clearly was a PS3 because when the consoles first came out, we had the HD DVD versus Blu-ray war.
Yeah.
With Microsoft supporting the HD DVD and that ugly ass addition they had to the 360.
Let me say something real quick. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I want to add this in here, Sick Humor, just real quick. Don't lose.
Go ahead.
With the HD DVD, I always believe Microsoft did not support it enough. They should have did what Sony did. They should have made that a part of their system because they were using DVD 9.
But didn't they not though? With but it was like an external, wasn't it?
Man, I'm talking about what PS4, PS3 did when they had Blu-ray inside of it. They had a Blu-ray inside of it. Because remember, the 360 was holding back last generation with that fucking DVD 9 technology, and there were a lot of games that had to be on multiple discs. I really don't. When people say, "Oh, they had HD DVDs," yes, they did. They had an external attachment to it. They never believed in it enough to make it a part of their console.
I don't think they came out with that HD DVD until they saw that people were picking up on the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So to me, it was another form of piggybacking.
Exactly.
Listen, HD DVD didn't have a chance. The reason why I never had a chance, because where else could you get an HD DVD player from?
I don't
It wasn't
know.
much, really. No.
No, it was something that Microsoft was trying to push, and nobody else was. Whereas Blu-ray, Samsung, Blu-ray players,
Something about
and then the thing with that HD DVD player, it was an extension. And the fucked up part about it was you had to remove your hard drive in order to hook that extension onto the console.
Oh damn! I didn't know that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it was an extension.
Yeah.
Wow. Thing, man, it was weird.
And the thing is, but when we look at the technology that was offered, and we look at the technology that was offered in the Xbox 360, the only thing that you can think of is economy. That's the only thing that tells you why the Xbox 360 did as well as it did, and also the fact that it launched a year ahead of the competition.
Exactly.
So the people who were already established, similar to the way it was with PS4 people, if you were already established with the PS4, you wasn't switching over to no Xbox One once they finally got their stuff together. No, you were like, you can go F yourself. I'm here now. I mean, that's just the way people think. And it's all about popularity as well.
Because the funny thing is, like, so I owned, with me an Xbox 360, I got one when it came out, and I owned 3 of them mainly because of Gears of War. I bought and sold the console every time to get Gears of War up until 3, and that was it. But one thing I remember like a lot about, I mean, which obviously Sony don't do a lot of, but based on the official licensing, is I remember Xbox when I bought it, and the amount of basically amount of accessories you had to get, like you remember the recharge battery packs, and you know, obviously the controller and stuff like that. But then you had like the HDD drive, you had headsets, you had portable keyboards. There was so much accessories coming from Microsoft. Like when that console came out, it kind of felt like Apple, where like you could only get these items from a Microsoft standpoint. But then obviously there were third-party companies like Mad Cat and some others that, you know, started to do cheaper versions later on in the cycle. But I mean, looking at PS4, there was kind of not a lot of that. There was mainly just the camera, the controller, and the console, and then later on you have the premium headsets, the gold headsets. But
PS4 is less user-friendly than PS3, to be honest.
Well, the thing is, like, when it comes to Microsoft at E3, a lot of this is what I mean. When I look back at 2013 all the way to now, they've always kind of pushed the. I mean, I know they're big on controllers, customizing controllers, stuff like that, but they've always led a lot to that controller aspect. They've always, I don't know why they push controllers so much on their side, but I mean, they must sell a lot, or you know, gamers must break their fucking controllers a lot if they're that a lot. You know, it's like I don't know,
just collect them. That's all.
Yeah, it's it's one of those things.
Like Pokemon, they like collecting them, like Pokemon.
I know what it is, man. It's just
I know we probably overstayed our welcome on this current subject, but before we move on to the next one, I want to say something that I have said before in the past. That people may think I'm crazy for, but I still believe it in my heart. During the last generation, remember when Sony was hacked and PSN was down for about a month?
Oh shit! Yes,
I think Microsoft was responsible for it.
I do too.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Now listen to me. Listen to me.
Yeah.
Back then, Microsoft was boasting about the weekly numbers because they were beating PlayStation in weekly numbers in North America. But Sony had finally started gaining some momentum with price drops and other adjustments that they made. So Sony had caught them in weekly sales and actually passed them. So Sony had beat them 3 weeks in a row in weekly sales, and all of a sudden it goes down. PlayStation Network goes down, and no sooner that happened, Microsoft jumps out talking about Xbox Live is the most secure place to play.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
It wasn't subtle either.
But
they were not subtle, bro.
To go on to that, like Xbox has been going down quite a lot, hasn't it, recently?
Yes, it has.
It has, compared to PlayStation, which is funny to me. That, you know, it's kind of flipped switch.
Yes.
I mean, also, what we're talking about there, was that the whole Lizard Squad and shit like that? Like,
no. Well, I don't know what's going on now, but back in 2013, when both consoles launched and Lizard Squad supposedly took down both PSN and Xbox Live, I think Microsoft was responsible for that one too. I think they wanted them to take the PlayStation offline because the PlayStation jumped out of the blocks in November 2013, kicking the Xbox ass. I think the reason why Microsoft was responsible for that, I think they had Lizard Squad take down both Microsoft PlayStation Network and Xbox Live, so they wouldn't, you know, people wouldn't get suspicious of them being responsible for hacks. Because if this would, you had a second major hack that would have happened to PlayStation and nothing happens to Microsoft, and we already know that they are a ruthless company.
Yes, they are. Last gen, they were ruthless, bro. A lot of their tactics, I don't think I even heard about those during the days of Nintendo versus Sega. But that was a different time, and they were doing those TV advertisements, which were fucking crazy.
That's not the Sony, because they, you know, they, like a true champion does, they got up off the mat and answered the bell.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did, man. Well, the next topic is Scalebound. And hold on, I think we only got to cover a couple more. We got Scalebound. We're gonna talk about Crackdown 3. Does it really use the full power of the cloud? And we're gonna address this one first. Do you think the Nintendo Switch is gonna outsell the Xbox One this year with all the bullshit going down? You think it's possible?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say inevitable. Yes. Yeah, because you got all the games going to the Switch. That makes the system more appealing than Xbox, and the Xbox is not appealing. It never has been. Actually, when the Switch came out, more people liked the Switch than the Xbox. So, yeah, I definitely believe so. What about this Scalebound rumor? Because that is what it is right now. But Nintendo has a pattern of picking up games that might be on the verge of dying or does not have a publisher, like a Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 and Bayonetta 1, 2, and 3 that they now have exclusively on their system. So you think it's possible? Because we went to the copyright. I think everybody saw the copyright. They abandoned the copyright. I don't know which year, but they never signed it up again. So yeah, I think this might be true.
It all comes down to Bayonetta, man, for me. They've made Bayonetta 2, and now they're making 3. Same company, Platinum Games.
Yep.
Them to just go ahead and go, hey, we'll make fucking Scalebound for you.
How big is the slap in the face to Microsoft gonna be if that happens, and then they still work with Nintendo to bring Game Pass? Like, at that point, do you have no morals? Do you have no soul?
You know, let me take this one, Jay, because I talked about this last week. I think, you know, because of the backlash in the Xbox community, in my opinion, if you are upset about Scalebound going to the Switch, you are not a Scalebound fan. You are just mad that Microsoft lost another game. Because, to use my side as an example, MLB The Show was my reason for buying a PS3, and it was also my biggest reason for buying a PS4. If Sony were to relinquish their license with Major League Baseball and not make any more baseball games, I would be heartbroken. And if I was to go 3 years with no baseball games, and then a baseball game turns up on the Switch, I will be happy that it came back, even if it's not on the PlayStation.
Same thing happened with Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I liked Part 2 a lot more than 1, and I was a big fan of X-Men Legends 1 and 2. But the fact that the series came back, I was a little hurt that it came back on a system I do not currently own. But am I going to go out and get that system that it's on? You best believe it, because the series came back. I wanted the series that came back.
Exactly.
No matter what system it's coming out on, I'm glad the series came back. So
yeah, Marvel Ultimate Alliance is day one.
Right. So if MLB The Show would have disappeared for about 3 years and it would have turned back up on the Nintendo Switch, there's no question I will jump up and go buy a Nintendo Switch in order to play MLB The Show. So for anybody hollering that outrage shit, be glad that the game is turning up somewhere if you are a true Scalebound fan.
Hey, real quick. I'm about to I'll still be here listening, but I'm about to back out because I gotta go and get this stuff done before the sun goes down.
Oh, no problem.
I want to thank you for inviting me, JayTech. I definitely do appreciate it, man. It's been a great podcast. Lincoln, you already know.
You know that. You know how we do it.
Yeah. Y'all be easy, man. And good to meet both of y'all, Adam and who was the other?
Nice to meet you.
Sam.
You just call me Bogus. People are getting confused. They call me Son of Sam or Boca. Just call me Boca. It's cool.
Gotcha. My bad, bro. But definitely, man. Y'all be easy, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, you too, man.
You too, man. Appreciate you coming by.
Okay, so next topic. Scalebound was a pretty good topic to cover because I feel the same way you feel. When I saw Marvel Ultimate Alliance, I didn't care. At the end of the trailer that it was going to the Switch, I was still happy the fact that it exists and that the characters they're going to add and shit like that. So very excited. We talked about is the Switch going to outsell the Xbox, and I guess we will end with a good discussion. Nintendo Switch versus the Xbox at E3 2018. So Microsoft again allowing Nintendo to bitch slap them by stealing Scalebound, right? Then they putting the Xbox game share, Game Pass on the Switch. They're doing all of this to help the Switch. They're doing cross-play with the Switch, and now they were excited. The Xbox executives and Microsoft they were excited that Sony's not going to E3. But with all the shit they have, that they really have supported the Nintendo Switch with, and they're making it the monster that it will be at E3, who do you think's going to win? Because I got Nintendo winning, just outright. I got Nintendo beating the shit out of Xbox at E3. Hello?
I'm here, and for the most part, I agree with you. But I do think Microsoft, if they do reveal Anaconda and Lockhart at E3, that will make it a very, very close one to call.
And that's, again, this is why I said, if they do what I think that they're also going to do, I know what Six Humor said, and I respect what he's saying about Sony. I believe that. I believe Sony has enough games. They have enough momentum to survive this year and survive it strongly. But as far as Microsoft, we know the only time they have ever been successful is when they came out before Sony. So what you think they're going to do next gen? Come out before Sony. So I see that happening.
So thus you have it where I have been saying for almost a year. The race for 2019 is on because they're going to be breaking their backs to get one up on each other.
Exactly.
Sony in 2005, they were in the foot race to try to get their consoles out first between the 360 and the PS3. The 360 jumped out first out the blocks and did phenomenal. And I kind of felt like on the outside looking in, I got the impression that Sony wanted to wait until the next year, 2006, to release the PS3 because it wouldn't be competing with anybody. It would be out there by itself. And then you fast forward to this generation, the PS4 and the Xbox One released within weeks of each other. So I think Microsoft wanted to get out in front of Sony so bad that last generation they put out a console that was not ready, and thus you have the Red Rings of Death situation.
Yeah, that shit too.
And I think if Microsoft could have done it, they would have tried to get the Xbox One out before the PS4. I would be led to believe that legal snafus probably pushed the date back a couple of weeks. So with that being said, I was a firm believer that not only would Microsoft release a console in 2019 in order to try to get a jump on Sony, I believe that they would be willing to release another broken console in order to get in front of them. But now that the service is the top priority, I'm not so sure now. But
so do you agree with Boca Loca where he said that they will bring out the streaming service this year?
I absolutely agree, because with all the consoles that Microsoft's supposed to be coming out with, the diskless console, the streaming console, the Anaconda, the Lockhart, and I'm sure that the Xbox One X is still going to fit in there somewhere. They can't release all those consoles in 2020. You'd have a fucking log jam. They got to at least release one of those consoles this year.
Yeah. So I think it'll be the console that has the streaming only, the one that doesn't have the disk drive, and then the next generation system next year. Because if it's anything I know, is patterns, and this seems like a pattern of what they did with the slim Xbox, and then coming out with the ultimate Xbox, which is known as the Xbox One X. So they did that, and it doesn't look like they don't want to do it again. Sony is probably the only person that would not want to do it again because they didn't like doing it the first time because it was something new. Sony would always come out with a slim unit, affordable economy unit to get more people on board, but they never came out with a system that had more power, like a mid-generation system with more power. That's a Microsoft trait. So do I believe they're coming out with the one that's digital only? Hell yeah. I think they're coming out with that shit this year. I hope Sony understands they don't have to follow Microsoft at all. And I think they don't want to, because if they did, they would have been doing all this bullshit. I love you, you love me bullshit with Nintendo, and they're not doing that. Okay? Here's
another thing. With the PS4, you have a console that is capable of doing something that Microsoft needs two consoles for. The PS4 is a traditional console and it streams. Microsoft is creating two separate consoles for those very things. You're going to have a console dedicated strictly to streaming, and you're going to still have your traditional console. I'm led to believe that Anaconda is not going to have any kind of streaming capabilities because it would interfere with the sales of the streaming console. With that being said,
that's what I don't get.
Yeah, that's so confusing.
With that being said, the streaming console has to come out this year. It's probably going to be the cheapest to manufacture and the cheapest, and it's going to be the quickest to manufacture. So it makes total sense for this to come out this year. And not to mention that if they put this thing out here and they sell it for like $150, that would give them a sizable jump on the PS5, because once the PS5 comes out, we can assume that it's going to be a traditional console with streaming capabilities. Why would you need to buy the Xbox streaming console after you have the PS5 in your hands if that's what you want to do?
That's crazy. That's crazy, man. But yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Lincoln. But Sam also hit it on the head. But they've done stupid shit before, and it doesn't look like from this pattern that I'm seeing from Microsoft, not Sony, they're gonna keep doing stupid shit. Come on, man.
Because the Xbox base is cheap, right? So if they already have the streaming service, why don't you just implement it as part of Game Pass? Why bother making new hardware?
You know why? There we go. This is where we're gonna come to the science of it. It's not strong enough, and it's not made for it. Remember, 4K, right? They had a 4K Blu-ray player in the Xbox One S, but it wasn't as powerful as the new Xbox, which can do native 4K. So people thought, oh, it has a 4K Blu-ray drive, it's going to do better games. It didn't. Some people literally brought the Xbox One S, the white unit, that just had nothing but a 4K Blu-ray drive, which did the same shit as the basic Xbox One. They brought it because they thought it was more powerful. And I'm going to let you know, right now, this new Xbox, the streaming service, it's going to be made specifically for streaming. I don't think it's going to have the inner workings of a basic Xbox One or Xbox One X. I think it's going to be something different. So that's just my thought, because there's no way you're going to just put out a basic model Xbox One that can do streaming when all the other ones can't do streaming.
So
they're giving us a console just to do it in 4K pretty much.
Well, that was the Xbox One X, and this one.
I mean the streaming one.
The streaming one. I want to be honest. because it's streaming and it doesn't have a 4K Blu-ray drive, and Sony's already figured out that technology, and everybody else has too. I don't see why they can't do 4K streaming. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't know. I mean, they found out a way to do it with videos. I don't know about like streaming video games in 4K. I don't know. Hopefully, they know something we don't know, because they've been messing around with that shit for a long time. So maybe.
See, this is what makes them annoying to begin with. This type of bullshit.
I think also, I think with the streaming console, you're setting yourself up to incur extra costs because first of all, you're going to need a connection fast enough to run that thing to have a stable experience. Like me, I've got 25 megs now, which is just fine for what I live by myself. Mm-hmm. If I go buy that streaming console, I'm probably going to need to up my internet speed to at least 50 megs in order to have a stable experience. And then, damn it, I lost my train of thought. I'm gonna have to come back to that one. But I know what I was gonna say. Because this is a streaming console, and Microsoft is going out of their way to try to make multiplayer games early, on top of having a faster internet connection that you're gonna need to pay for. You're also gonna need to pay for Xbox Live in order to pay for these games. And then they're gonna try to entice you with Game Pass. So you are incurring, in my opinion, some extra unneeded costs. Why would you get a streaming box and have to pay for more internet for a faster connection? And to me, there is no substitute for a traditional console. The same way I think Wi-Fi will never be better than a hardwire.
Damn. Dope. Lincoln, bro, you spitting knowledge, man. You spitting knowledge. Oh man.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
Well, it's true though, man. Like you have to think about all these criteria, man. You just mentioned. You have to think about all of them. Yeah. Because they want you to be able to play Xbox games on your phone. If Nintendo is a thing, on the Nintendo, on your PC, on your Xbox. Part of them are fine, yeah, but like you'd have good connection. You have to think about a lot of things. I mean, like we're only just coming to the aspect of like phones being able to do 5G. Like Samsung announced their 5G.
They're not doing 6G, and we don't know. They're not doing 5G perfectly. They're starting it out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're just starting it out. So Microsoft, I'm not saying they're as ambitious as Sony, where they're making their system future-proof. They're just thinking ahead. But I don't think it's future-proof because, as we can see, they should have had all their systems ready for this type of evolution. Sony did with 4K Blu-ray. Not with 4K, with VR. Sorry, I was talking differently. With VR, they had their system ready for VR, but they didn't launch with it. You get what I'm saying? They were ready for a lot of shit that they've done even in the past. With the PS2 with iJoy, with the PS the 3 with the 3D gaming. That just had an update, and also share. What is it? Game share? Not game share.
What you got share play?
Remote play. Right. That's what remote play was a simple update on the PS3. It happened in 2008, I believe, or something like that. It was a simple ass update, and it allowed you to play. I think it was a dragon game called Lair. You could play that full game on the PSP with remote play, and then they made it different with the PS Vita and PS4, where you could play every game completely with your PS Vita on remote play. Sony thinks ahead. They make sure their systems are future-proof.
It's all right to think ahead, but that's if that shit works.
But what I'm saying is, it's gonna suck that
your percentage has got to be over 50. It's got to be at least like 70 to 85%, well, 70 to 80%. Sure, that this shit is not going to come back to bite you in the ass.
But that's what I'm saying. They don't. It doesn't seem like they plan for this evolution. But if they have to bring out a new system that's not the next generation system, but a system just to manifest their desires in streaming games, that sucks, man. That's gonna suck. If the new Xbox coming out after E3, that's just for streaming, doesn't have a disk drive. If that system is the only way that they can start making their vision a reality, that's not good. That means you're going to alienate everybody else that has the other systems. I can only hope that they will be able to stream the other systems. It should be a simple update. But yes, some people are going to be left in the dust. I don't know which Xbox units will be. I think the X should be all right. The Xbox One X should be all right. But the other ones, they might do what we were saying Sony was going to do, which they phase out the slim PS4 and they only have the Pro. I think Microsoft might be doing something similar because it seems like the only system powerful enough to do the streaming right now. So they're basically going to bring out a slim that doesn't have a Blu-ray drive and sell it.
Boy, that's a tough one right there, Jay, because I think that moving into the next generation, people who own vanilla Xboxes and Xbox One S's are still going to be a huge part of Microsoft's plans moving forward. Because when you look back at the 360 generation, from what I understand, GameStop employees told me this: Microsoft discontinued support of the original Xbox in after 6 months, a year, whatever the case in order to force people to upgrade to the Xbox 360. That was their intentions this generation. I saw articles that said Microsoft was going to discontinue Xbox Live support on the Xbox 360 in 2014, maybe 2015. That was their plan. But because the Xbox One fell flat on its face and was not selling, they had to keep the 360 alive. And I think that's part of the reason why you have shit like backwards compatibility in Game Pass. They were desperate moves.
Well, I see exactly what you're saying, but do you think the older Xboxes can handle 4K streaming? I mean, I think the one with the 4K Blu-ray drive in it, which is the S, right? The white one can do it. The new one, the Mega Xbox, which is called Xbox One X, that can do it. But your black one, the first edition Xbox Ones, I don't think they're going to be capable of doing it. But it doesn't seem like they're going to stop. Okay, the current ones they have out right now, drop the price, bring out the streaming service, right? But if you can do that, which I think they can, why would you bring out a stream box that doesn't have a disk drive? It's like pointless. Put all your focus on the next generation hardware. Don't bring out 3 fucking pieces of hardware at E3. That's a death sentence. You're going to confuse the market more than people are already confused hearing news updates that you can play all your Xbox games on Nintendo systems. People are fucking confused. I don't know what Microsoft is thinking right now, but this is not friendly for the consumer.
And I think that once the xCloud and all this shit is like fully operational, that's when we're going to see more and more obvious signs that Microsoft is going to become third party, and then the Xbox brand will become an app that you download onto your devices. And with that being said, for those who own vanilla Xbox One and Xbox One S's, I think you'll only need to download the Xbox app in order to stream games. But I think because those consoles weren't made for it, you're probably going to have the worst experience on those consoles and dinosaur-ass cell phones.
Stranded.
Because I think Microsoft don't have a problem rolling something out and it doesn't work like it's supposed to, and it ends up being a broken piece of shit. And when it happens, then Microsoft goes silent until it's time to sell the next item.
I remember when Xbox, when they brought the 360, they had Arcade Core and Premium.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Adam. We got a major alert. I want to thank everybody that's supporting the podcast. I really want to thank you guys. But I got to drop some ammo. It seems like some people are dealing with some understanding of Death Stranding. So I just wanted to send you.
He's just trolling. He's not being. He's just being an idiot.
Is he being an idiot because he's trolling, or what's going on?
It's one of your stupid little PC kids, I'm guessing.
Oh, okay. Well, here's the trademark.com website. I wanted to drop down there because I can post links. So click that little troll, read that, see who owns the trademark, and just learn some shit, because you guys are going off of information from 2015 when Kojima didn't even know the name of the game that he wanted to create. Okay, the following year in 2016, he sat on the couch with Andrew House, shook hands, and began a partnership with Sony. A little bit later, he went to Guerrilla Games, enjoyed that engine. He teamed up with them. They're making Death Stranding. It's simple as that. Okay? It's very, very simple. Not once has he said anything about Steam. Not once has he said anything about the Epic Games Store. Get it out of your head that the game's coming to PC. Okay? We're speaking facts here, not rumors, not stuff that came out before 2016. We're talking about 2016 onwards and his actions and what he was doing now. Okay, sorry. Just had
I'm going to see if he's going to take me up on this bet because I'm pretty sure he won't because he knows he's full of it.
Okay, keep going. I'm sorry for cutting you off, Adam. I'm sorry. Apologize.
No, just that, you know, with the streaming service, you know, streaming Xbox and the hardware Xbox and this no disc Xbox, it reminds me of when the Xbox 360 came out. They had a core, an arcade, a core, and a premium. Now the difference was, I think you didn't get a HDD drive with the core and the arcade. Or no, wait, the arcade. The core you got 20 gigabytes, and then the premium you got 60 gigabytes. And like then they brought out the Elite, which I think gave you 120 gigs.
That's facts.
And it was just like, and I mean, I remember when I went in the store, and when I was in the store not wanting to get a people were like, "What's the difference between these three consoles?" And they had to go through bit by step what these consoles, you know, why they were different. And it was like, you look at Xbox doing that same shit again, where like this is a stream-based service console, and this is a hardware-based console. Then they go into the aspects of, oh, but what about the games that are on this console? Can I play the same games on this console? They'll have to go through step by step. Whereas with PS5, it's one console, and all they have to say is the PS5. It's one console. You get these. These are the games that are on this console. It's simple as. And I mean, when they do announce the next Xbox, I'm looking forward to seeing how this all pans out. What these consoles are, what they do, because they have to make sure and describe this console right, because otherwise it'll be like this gen where they're like, it's an all-in-one console, entertainment system. They will focus on the entertainment system more than the actual games itself, where, you know, Sony clearly stated this is a gaming console. They made sure that people understood that. And that's why a lot of people were like, okay, we understand them more than Xbox. Because when they went to E3, they had to deal with the DRM situation of their console and other little bits and pieces. And it was like, it wasn't fun for them. There were a lot of things that they kept away from the public. And, you know, I mean, I think it will happen again with these new consoles. I think they will say stuff that they're not going to say that might fuck them over, but not as bad as, you know, Xbox One. I think they'll do that better. They have to. Like, they can't fuck around this time around. Because if they do, PlayStation again will take advantage.
Exactly. Adam, I agree with everything you said. I want to just announce that the problem has been dealt with. Sam had to block the individual. He came out in defense of the Death Stranding information that I continue to spam him with. He said that it's kind of like Persona 5. Persona 5 is not owned by Sony.
New online game to play in 2019. That is a... Just kidding.
What?
Okay. Somebody was watching Heartache. So, like I was saying, is Persona 5 is not owned by Sony, okay? It's a PlayStation exclusive because it's always been a PlayStation exclusive, okay? There's no Sony technology in Persona 5, okay? Death Stranding is different. The technology they're using in Death Stranding is from Guerrilla Games, which is owned by Sony, and the IP that Kojima is working on, which is Death Stranding, is owned by Sony. Kojima might not be a first-party studio, but they are using first-party technology, and they're working on a title that now is owned by Sony. The copyright is owned by Sony, so I don't understand why anybody is not understanding this. I understand.
He's just acting stupid on purpose. He wasn't being genuine.
I know. I understand you're PC gamers. Okay? I don't have a problem with PC gamers, but you can't keep spreading false information. It is very dangerous to the gaming industry. If you want a game to be on somebody else's platform or on your platform of choice, that's cool. I can't take that away from you. I'm not going to spend or waste my time arguing back and forth. I just don't want you to lie about it. Because when you lie about it and you don't have sources and you don't have facts, and I'm going back and forth by texting or debating with my voice, it's very irritating, okay? So please, it's 2019. Enough with the lies. If you got any information about Kojima working on a project that he did not name in 2015, do not bring it up to me. I did my part. I showed you the copyrights that Sony owns Death Stranding. Everybody knows they're using the Decima engine that was used in the Horizon Zero Dawn, which again is a PlayStation exclusive. That's all I have to do. That's the facts. Okay? If you're going to be one of those immature PC fanboys, take your ass back to Steam, play those low-budget indie titles, get the fuck off. We want some real man shit over here. AAA exclusives, okay? They don't do very well on PC because you don't want to buy them day one. This new generation of the PC community that's under the age of 18, you're not helping anybody, okay? That's why everybody's looking towards this new impressive technology that's coming out next year. They're not looking towards PC right now, okay? The mainstream gaming is on console. I know it's hard to hear. It might not be better technology than what you can build on a PC. I can admit that, but it is mainstream, and it's helping the industry go forward.
This is true.
Lying about where a game is going to be hurts the industry because individuals wait on that game. They wait to see if it's going to be on that platform that was never confirmed. You're hurting the sales of the game. The game was not announced for PC. It never was announced for PC. It is a PlayStation exclusive, always has been. Whether you're looking at the beginning of the trailer or the end of the trailer, you can see it's a PlayStation exclusive, okay? Enough of the bullshit. Move on, okay? You got tons of indie games on Steam to worry about that have not came out this year or next year. Get hyped about that shit. Get real hyped about it. Just stay the fuck away from Death Stranding, okay? That's enough. I'm not saying no more about that shit. I'm getting tired of it, man.
JayTech's protecting him.
Okay. With that being said, I think we're pretty much done.
Way to end it.
Your intros. I'm about to order me something on the open.
He went on a rant.
Yeah, I'm about to go get something to eat myself. Well, hell yeah, what a good way to end the shit with a nice little tirade. And what you said is 100% true because look no further than the PlayStation VR. They are the market leader now, and if it was not for Sony getting involved in VR, it would be dead now.
Exactly. PC
That's a
had
shame.
with VR though, and that's what I don't understand. They had more technical advancements in VR. Their VR headset does better than PlayStation VR. It's more powerful.
So what you got the HD, the
mainstream of gaming. That's what they don't want to admit.
Vive. That's the most powerful VR system on the PC, isn't it?
And noticeably more expensive than the PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
Not to mention that, see, Sony has made VR affordable. They made it a simple plug and play, and because of that, I just dropped $1,400 for a computer last week for a PC, and then a couple of years ago, Oculus and Vive cost $600 and $700 respectively. Now, what person going to jump up and spend $1,700 just to play VR? Now, Sony, the situation that they're in, when you catch one of those VRs on sale, you can catch them as low as $200. And if you catch the PlayStation Slim on sale, that's $200. So you already have a console that you get a tremendous experience from, and you have a peripheral and another form of gaming that you can add to that, all for less than one headset. So if Sony had not got involved in VR, it would be dead because it would be a super expensive hobby.
This is what they're doing, man. Like, I mean,
it's mainstream. They don't want to admit that console gaming is mainstream. They hate to admit that shit. I see PC advertisements sometimes. I see Dell, sometimes I see a little bit of Acer. I see Microsoft on the TV, but I don't see it nearly as much as Xbox or Nintendo or PlayStation. Okay? They don't want to admit it that technology that's weaker than a gaming PC you can build for $500, maybe more, maybe less, is It's the face of the fucking gaming. They don't want to admit it. I understand. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. It's true.
Yeah, when you think about it, it's weird, but they have the developers that maximize the power. That's pretty much how it works on a console, and that's why you don't see these types of games on PC. It's not, specifically for PC. On a PC, it's basically the Wild West.
Oh, yes, it is. You know what?
Structures, no organization.
That's a discussion for another time because
definitely.
Yeah, PC is the Wild West. We need to talk about those mature SJW and the anti-SJW crew on PC that does nothing but naked mods. Every game that comes out, they make a naked mod every damn game. We gotta talk about y'all guys, but that's another time, man. I'm tired of y'all. Everybody, y'all can do y'all outros. I'm gonna go last.
Okay, I'll get this thing started up first. Yo, what is good, everybody? It is your boy Lincoln Clay, the ageless wonder, the godfather of gaming. It was a pleasure coming here to the PlayStation Legion Hangouts. It was an amazing podcast. We talked about a lot of stuff. Very, very great podcast. So for those of you that haven't seen it yet, make sure you catch the replay of this because this is definitely one of the best podcasts of the PlayStation Legion that I've been on.
Okay, who's next?
Cool. There's Moore here. Sorry for being late for this podcast, but like I said, I showed up on probably the best part, which was obviously talking about dreams. Thank you all for coming over and enjoying the stream. Then I was talking about all things video games. At some stage, trash talking some other companies, but trying to keep it minimal and simple. But yeah, thank you very much.
Minimal and simple, guys. Bogle Local 320. Appreciate you guys coming back to check us out. Noticing regular numbers, so appreciate the continued support. Lincoln, I gotta add you, man, because we gotta play some MLB The Show, buddy. Do some 1v1 or something.
Absolutely, because that is my
Lincoln. You got Anthem on PS4 too, right?
No, I do not. I'm sitting here debating whether to get it. I hate to say it, man. I was debating whether to get it on the PC or whether to get it on the PS4. I'm not even sure I even want to get the game because to me,
you probably want to get it later, but me and Sam do got it, and me and him, I actually have not played much of it. I played it yesterday before the podcast, but it was not featured, by the way. I don't know if you saw the votes. People wanted to see Dreams over Anthem, and that's saying something since Dreams isn't even out. I just played some footage, but yeah, it's a lot of bad taste in people's mouth with EA right now. I think they need to take a little break. Keep putting out the sports games, but take a break from the new IPs and the individual games, man. Like they're not doing good, man.
Hey, Boca, are you in the JTech Plus 3 over on the Twitter?
I don't know. Fuck, man, I'm not sure. If anything, I'll shoot you a message. I know your name on it. I'll get your PSN.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Because my PSN name is different from my YouTube name.
All right, now definitely. I figured, man. Yeah, we'll do some 1v1. Test out your skills, man, because I love that game, bro. I'm with you. That game is something else.
We'll stream it too. I haven't done MLB The Show in quite a while, so I would love that. Let's get together, man. Let's play a game. Let's stream it. Let's have a little friendly little trash talk. That kind of stuff.
Of course. So. You remember on the PS3, they actually had voice chat, man, where you could trash talk online. They took it out. They don't have them in any of the iterations this gen for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think they need to. They could get. There's a lot of stuff they need to bring back from the PS3. The PS3 did a lot of good shit. But I'm going to get my outro out of the way. I want to thank everybody that supported in all ways that you supported, whether it's liking, whether it's commenting, or if you're a brand new subscriber. I want to thank all of you guys. We have some, clearly PlayStation Legion podcast next Saturday, Sunday, the PS Legion Google Hangouts, as always. On Saturday, 1 p.m. we'll be here. On Sunday, it's going to be 3 p.m. through the week. If I have some important news or some gameplay to show you, that will be posted. But when you subscribe, make sure you push that notification button so you can get notified that there's something new on the channel. YouTube, again, not doing this job when it concerns smaller YouTubers. And that goes for anybody. If you're subscribing to anybody on YouTube, you need to click the notification button right beside the subscribe button. It helps you get notified if somebody you like is putting up some new content. But this is JayTechTV, the Flame of PlayStation. We are out of here.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.